It's past the hour of 7. Very shortly, we'll be getting into the news review. Myself, Sixtus, Don Ullo, Noble, Crosby, Annan. But of course, it's a holiday special. It is Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day today. Well, the holiday actually fell on Saturday. And as per tradition, we move it to the next working day, which is today. And for the uninitiated, all throughout the show, I'll be sharing some powerful facts about Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. I'm sure many of you know that Kwame Nkrumah led Ghana to become the first African nation to gain independence from colonial rule in 1957, serving as Prime Minister and later as the country's first president. Kwame Nkrumah was a leading advocate for Pan-African unity, striving for the liberation and solidarity of African nations. And he was instrumental in the formation of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, now the African Union, the AU. He introduced the concept of African socialism, merging traditional African values with modern socialist principles to address the continent's economic and social challenges. Nkrumah spearheaded large-scale infrastructure projects like the Akosombo Dam, which created Lake Volta, one of the world's largest man-made lakes, providing electricity and boosting industrialization. And it's for good reason that we set aside a day like this to celebrate the visionary Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
At long last, the battle has ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. And here again, I want to take the opportunity to thank the chiefs and people of this country, the youth, the farmers, the women who have so nobly fought and won this battle. Also, I want to thank the valiant ex-servicemen who have so cooperated with me in this mighty task of freeing our country from foreign rule and imperialism. Has ended.
Episode again. Very good backbone.
Ghana, your beloved country is free forever.
Plenty questions, no answer. Cause still we the suffer. Include my where you there. You know, be you toxic, my beloved country is free forever. But your people still the suffer. While I did, where the money go.
And it is certainly a good day to have a good day. Let me say another warm welcome and a good morning to one Sixtus Don Ullo, producer of the best breakfast show in all of the land, 3 FM Sunrise. And of course, one noble Crosby, Annan, the finest in all of the land. The punk is getting a bit longer, so I think that we are in safe hands.
Because he's first losing the ambition to becoming vice president of Ghana.
No, we're still holding.
Oh, I love that. Do not be deterred.
Your candidate, the person, the man who inspired you to aspire to that.
Say Afriakoto.
That was who inspired you.
He's the one.
That's the one. Why are you running away from that?
Please, right now I am fully
Cheddar.
No, we'll say that.
Is it Ekweadonko?
As for us on this platform, we are all for Ekweadonko.
Yes, please. Ghana Freedom Party.
Ghana Freedom Party.
Because she has
promised us
reiterated
cars.
the car. And she also added that it's not that she'll give you the car and you use water or spit to propel that car. She's giving free fuel coupons. And then she added chop money on top of that.
She says she'll cut money into the system, but because Ghana, our money is
Because we get into the from here.
Yes, our money is for us, so we just cannot go.
Oh, yeah. You did it.
The kind of forward thinking we need.
Zimbabwe Pro Max. I mean, but this, on the contrary, this should let us think about the pruning levels, as in the role of the electoral
no. Why should that? Why we're talking about Ekweadonko and then you tell us this should let us think
Are
about the pruning? Why?
Our very own Ekweadonko should have been pruned out.
Is that what you are trying to tell us?
You are given.
What I'm saying is that there should be a setting standard that should not be compromised.
Look at the very comprehensive criteria that the EC set out, and she managed to fill and tick every box.
Look at the things she's talking about. How do you say you're going to cut money into the system because I'm
no Crosby, please listen to me.
Don't the Americans print dollar every day?
Ghanaians we print dollar. I mean we print our CD all the time.
Crosby, I take exceptional offense to this because. Crosby, look at the criteria of the EC.
Zimbabwe.
What happened to Zimbabwe?
Yeah, they are cutting money. They were cutting money.
No. Crosby, we can't have this. We can't have this.
You do this.
Crosby, look at the extensive
Nigeria is not
protocol.
cutting money, but they also need a lot of naira to buy one loaf of bread.
Oh, Charlie. Look at this extensive protocol that the EC set out for all candidates to follow, and she managed to tick every box. Do you think it's easy to get?
You should be impressed, though.
Yes,
Crosby, you should be impressed.
She needs a signature.
Easy.
First of all, over 40 of sound mind. Have a rep from, get a signature from every single constituency, in fact.
Every single constituency.
It appears that's the most difficult part of
yes. Because we can barely hear.
And since she started, in fact, she's one of the few people whose form have not been rejected, never, and who has never been called back. To rectify any errors on her form.
I think this year she was called back and she was able to rectify a lot of
there you go.
I think it was only Dr. Bawumia and Mr. Mahama, if I'm not mistaken, who did not have issues with their forms. For the rest, they had concerns. They called them back and then they rectified.
Maybe hers was just dotting an I or crossing a T.
Very impressive.
There are those who had to sign here and there dates, tax clearance certificates for their running mates and all of that. But I think, beyond that, where is Cheddar's vice president candidate?
He would have indicated that.
Would have been indicated in the forms.
Of course, but we don't see the forms. The EC will not, of course, not disclose.
Okay. So the EC knows.
Oh, yes.
The new force, they know.
Go through without.
Of course, you have to let us know who your vice is before you go through. So the EC knows, Cheddar knows, but we don't know as yet. Who are we thinking could partner?
Our deep throat sources at the EC, they won't tell us.
Oh,
Crosby, you should have a way to elicit that.
Me too, I know. Me too, I'll not tell you.
Well, gentlemen, good morning. Again, we're recapping the happenings over the weekend. And of course, quite high up on that list is the balloting exercise that took place on Friday. It was like a blockbuster. I was glued to my screens. Crosby, were you actually in the building at that time?
Yes.
Tell us all, give us all the behind the scenes filler.
When they arrived, it was all cool, quiet, peaceful. And then the EC, Jean Mensah was not there at the moment. After she addressed the press, she left. So it was the deputy chairs of the commission. I saw Bosman Asare, I saw Samuel Tete, and then the new one.
The director of electoral services.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was.
In fact, Crosby, bear with me. This filler is too hot. We need to introduce it the best way possible. This is, of course, your election command center right here on 3FM 92.7. Mr. Noble, Crosby, Annan, over to you, back to you. I had to remind you all that this is, of course, your election command center. Come hell or high water, holiday or no holiday, we bring you along the behind the scenes, the in front of the scenes, the side by sides.
But Helen, not to bro, come hell or high water.
Yes.
Tell some people.
So Helen,
Charlie, come hell or high water.
Helen,
As the Nigerians will say, by force or by fire. But Brony Beka by hell or high water.
Wow.
Same sisters.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
well done.
So, like we're saying, the new commissioner, he addressed the gathering. I mean, there was a word of prayer that was said, I believe, and then they began the process. So the announcement was that they were going to have 2 balloting sessions. The first was to pick a number which will allow them a position on the ballot paper. So the ballot A was to know who will pick what number first for ballot B. And the idea was that the political parties will have theirs first. Now, that was where the first disagreement of the night began, because Alan Chomating's movement for change, represented by the former communications director of the NPP, the former MP for Adenta, Boabia Samuel. So he was resisting it fiercely, that why should the political parties be treated differently from the independent candidates? In fact, his position was supported by Cheda, who also said that means that the independent candidates were being treated as second-class citizens. That was a huge back and forth. It built up into something quite substantially disagreeing with the APC's General Secretary, Mordecai, making a comment that angered Boabia Samoa, asking him to sit down, saying that he does not have the locus to intervene, and his comment was unwarranted. In fact, Mordecai said the independent candidates were not structured. They did not have structures. So what the commission was saying, that the party should ballot first, was right. And then Boabia Samoa, very angry about it, saying that they were structured enough to qualify to come to this level, so he cannot make such comments. But eventually the commission said it was an administrative process of the electoral commission. So,
because we just to interject a little bit, because the butterfly movement, the Allenites, that's something that has been a bit of a gripe for them in this particular election period. This idea that if you are a movement and not quite yet a party, you have some seemingly limited rights. You don't get all the intel from the EC. They are not provided with, for example, the provisional voters register, and so on and so forth. So I wasn't surprised at all that sort of feeling spilled over into the balloting. They've been very vociferous, shall I say, about that position.
And again, it's not the first time we are hearing that argument.
That's right.
It's always come up anytime the process gets to this stage, where they would place the political parties and their candidates above the independent candidates. And it's an issue that should have been resolved by now, way before.
Sixtus, in what manner? What should happen?
No, inviting independent candidates or their representatives to IPAC meetings will be tricky. Tricky because there's only a point at which you can tell that this person is a candidate for the presidential election. And so all the IPAC meetings that would have been held in the course of the 4-year period, or the processes, with all the processes leading up to the elections, it will be difficult for you to say, for instance, Alan Chamating send a representative to IPAC as an independent candidate, because up till about 2 years ago, or no, just a year ago, Alan was a member of the NPP.
That's right.
And we probably wouldn't have known that he would have gone as an independent candidate. And so there's no way we could have invited him to IPAC as an independent candidate. Even for those who contested in the 2020 elections as independent candidates, we could not have been sure that in 2024 they will come back as independent candidates. So between 2020 and 2024, they would have lost out on all the engagements and dialogue and everything between Electoral Commission and political parties or stakeholders in the election up to this point. The only point at which the EC can extend such an invitation to them would be when they officially file their nominations to say that we are interested in contesting the 2024 elections as independent candidates.
That would be a little bit too late.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It would be way too late.
Yeah.
That's right.
You get it. But when it comes to, so as for the IPAC argument, I find it difficult to support it, that we should open it up to independent candidates. Because the danger also is that you may end up having too many people at IPAC who really have no interest in the election.
That's
or
true.
the same political parties will turn around, push other people into IPAC as potential presidential candidates, independent candidates, only for them to opt out at the very last minute.
Right.
So IPAC will be chaotic. But when it comes to other decisions, in fact, after the individuals have put in their nomination forms, indicated their intentions to run as independent presidential candidates, from that moment on, the Electoral Commission should have a way of including them in the processes.
Okay.
I don't know. Like we have all agreed, it's too late.
That's right.
But it should be possible for us to include them in the discussions. If it's about voter register, for instance, it should be possible for them to get copies of the register so that they can also go through, because they equally have interest in the process.
The voters register is available for everybody, though. You just have to write to the commission why you want it, and the commission can give it to you. So these candidates, they are well and able to ask for it if they want. But what you're saying is very true. It'll be too late at a certain point in time, but there should be a way. If they've shown certain levels of commitment to becoming president, if you see they're serious about it, they've paid the forms, they've filed their nominations, they've paid what they have to pay, and their forms are correctly captured, I think that's the point where they should come in. However, it'll be too late though, but it will benefit the commission, the candidates, and the electoral stakeholders in a certain way. So it was a huge conversation that began there from Wabia Samoa to Cheddar to the APC and all of that. But the ruling was that it was a position of the Electoral Commission. So in the coming elections, in the coming years, they will look at how to not treat the independent candidates, as Cheddar put it, as second-class citizens.
In fact, up to that point, they had what you call demonstrated enough. Yes, they have demonstrated enough that they want to be candidates. So if you go in for balloting, for instance, you shouldn't say that NDC, NPP, CPP, PMP should
go first.
And it was obvious on the screen. You see, the political parties, representatives of the political parties picked first. Then after that, in fact, some of them even left when they were done. They didn't wait to see
who else had picked what.
The commission asked them that the political parties were done with you, so
you can see your way out.
So they went, and then the independent candidates went closer to the chairing of the place, and then they also began to ballot. The balloting was interesting. First concern was the signatures behind the numbers. So everybody wanted to be sure the numbers were being captured right, the process was transparent enough. Then it got to the point where the balls had to be examined. It was first raised by the NDC. Omane Boama, he wanted to have a feel of the balls for the balloting and wanted some more explanations whether if you pick number one
Why
here.
you stress the word balls?
In fact, on that evening,
ask.
on that evening, the only word we heard was balls. Everybody was talking about balls. From NDC, MPPs, everybody, balls. But let's move on. So we had someone wanted to examine
Is it the Stars balls or the Starlets balls or the Queens balls or
the balloting balls? So he asked that it be brought to them. So he was concerned about the weight. He had a feel of it, examined it. Eventually, the balls went round, and then the commission put the papers, the numbers in the balls for it to be picked. The NPP, according to the commission, they were the first to file the nomination, so they would pick first, and then when the Director of Elections of the NPP, Evans Nimako, was going to pick his ball, he went there. I mean, it was shuffled through and all of that. Eventually, he picked one, and then the other candidate also picked. When he opened his, it was number one. So that was when the number one trend began, and that was also the beginning of a lot of suspicions, issues of transparency, atmosphere of mistrust, and all of that. That is where it began. After that, the NDC also then said the balls were not the same, seeking to say that, I mean, it was biased. The first balloting process was biased.
They said one ball was maybe compromised, had a different character or shape or something like that.
The NPP's defense was that the NDC asked to examine the balls. So it was given to them. They spent quite over 5 minutes looking at the balls, but you were not able to detect or determine what you're talking about.
At that point, were you in the room?
Yes, we're inside throughout.
Because I heard them say, let the media come and examine the balls, come and take. Were you able to get close to it?
That did not happen.
Okay.
That did not happen. Eventually, we were able to get some levels of closeness to the examination, but we were not allowed to examine the balls as it was being
because they said, okay,
for.
media, let's get the cameras on there, but you stayed at that distance. But the other parties were able to go and have a look and see if that ball was really an anomaly or it was the same as the other balls presented. Okay.
But was there also a rule as to how you could pull out a ball, for instance? Because it's one of the issues that sparked some conversation.
The first balloting process, there was no disagreement on how to pick a ball from the bowl where the balls were in. So after it is shuffled, you go, you pick. There was no just pick one or examine two. No, there was nothing like that. In fact, Nimako, when he went, he picked one, and then he was trying to pick another, but he was stopped. It was not like he wanted to know what he was picking. So he picked one. He was in his I think left hand or right hand, then he was trying to pick another. He was stopped, so he only held on to the one that he picked, and that was the number one for the second phase of the
But did they say they shouldn't look into the bowl?
So that was the second balloting process for the positions on the ballot paper. So after the NDC had raised concerns that the first balloting process was biased, it was not fair because there were concerns over the balls. One of the balls was distinct and had to be replaced. The commission agreed to replace the ball. The NDC was saying that the NPP were having an advantage of seeing the kind of ball to pick, so the ball should be put into an opaque bag. The NPP resisted it, saying that how do you guarantee transparency and fairness if you say you should pick it in an opaque polythene bag? The NDC was saying that it removes every advantage there could be, your eyes not seeing. The NPP said no, as far as we'll look into it.
But the NPP Crosby also said to the NDC, and I was quite curious about that because the NDC didn't have a rebuttal, that they had the opportunity, they discussed in a meeting beforehand that you will pick like this, and they also had an opportunity to look at the balls before they all sat down, and they opted not to. I wonder, had the NPP not picked number one, would the NDC have raised some of these concerns? At some point it felt like, is this much ado?
The observation I made, I mean, I was watching on screen.
Likewise.
And I was in studio throughout the process. And the observation I made was that it was only Evans Nimako who actually looked into the bowl. That's the second round.
Yes.
He looked into the bowl.
He said he would.
I don't know whether he tried shuffling it himself.
He didn't shuffle for the second one.
There was some
movement there.
Yes.
The rest of them, they came, looked away, dipped in, picked, and walked away. That's what I was wondering.
The second balloting, it was shuffled before it was put in the polythene bag. It was a thank you takeaway bag.
Oh.
So when he got there, he just looked. In fact, I mean, we'll talk about the concerns later, but this is narrating what happened. So it was shuffled, put into the polythene bag. At a point, a ball fell, it was put back inside. I mean, we'll deal with all those later. So he came, he said he would look into it and pick, and he did. He looked into it, and then he just dipped his hand inside, picked the ball, kept it in his right hand, transferred to his left hand. I was behind him. I was interested in what was going on. And then he came to sit down. And then he decided not to open it yet. In fact, he said he would not open it yet until the other people have picked their balls. So eventually, he gradually opened it slowly. He was guarding it, fiercely. He opened the ball, and then the number was 1. I must say that there was no instance of swapping that we saw. We did not see Nimakun exchanging any of the balls, any of the numbers with
as is being narrated on social media.
That did not happen at all. I can confidently say that because I was directly.
You didn't see it happen, or it didn't happen?
It did not happen because I saw everything that happened. I saw it when he was holding the ball, when he opened the ball, and when the number 1 was written in red on the paper there. So he transferred the number to Macmenu. So he pushed it to him and he started jubilating. So when you look at it from a different angle, from not behind him, when the EC asks that they tell the numbers they got or show the papers they got, he sort of collected the paper from his left side. If you're looking at it from a different angle, it looks like a GOB number. But that was not the case. It was his own number. I saw it when he opened it that he presented. And then the NDC picked number 8 and all of that. So narrating what happened, essentially these were the key highlights. There were before the second balloting process, there was a concern about changing the opacity, and then an independent person should put their papers in the balls and all of that. And the balls were re-examined after I was changed.
We all watch the draws when they are for these tournaments, World Cup, Cup of Nations. We watch the draws, EPL draw. We see how it is. Why is it that our own must always be different? Why?
It's very simple. In my mind, a few things that the Electoral Commission did not have a firm position on what to do on the night.
In fact, Crosby, would you say that the EC did not have a handle on that day's events?
Yeah.
It looked to me as though that they had lost control.
Exactly.
You are in my house. You are essentially in their office.
Yes.
You have to play by my rules. But the EC itself, the officials were behind the table, seemingly now taking suggestions and which they should do. But no. Sixtus, allow me. Sixtus, please allow me on this one because I think Crosby agrees with me. The EC did not have a handle on issues. It was chaotic. It was not streamlined. They should have had a more forceful presence there. You are in my office. People were standing up, shouting across the table. They did not have they were being dictated to. 10 left, bring polythene paper. Your balls are small, your balls are big, bring a different ball. I mean, it did not look good. Crosby was there. He can attest to this.
I have covered one or two of these events, and what I know is that prior to that meeting, there would have been an agreement as to how the process would go. And that was a question I asked on Friday night when I was having an interaction here with Beatrice. Because if there was that prior agreement as to how the process was to go, I don't think a lot of the shouting competition we saw would have happened. But and that is where I fault the Electoral Commission. I suspect that there had not been any prior. The
NPP alleges that there was a prior, and that was their counter argument to the NDC when they started asking for new balls. The NPP said that we've had a talk before when we had an agreement.
I heard Crosby, you were in the room. I heard that the balls were of different colors.
No, the balls were
white and gold colors.
Yeah, so one ball was made up of 2 colors.
Each ball is 2 colors.
Each ball was 2 colors, day and night. There was a gold part and there was a plain or a white part. So the balls had these colors on them. But the balls felt the same, weighed the same, but I can
So if I took one ball,
Johnny, be calming down.
hey guys,
Be calming down.
please, okay.
Can we say round objects?
Stone. If I took one stone,
No. I think it's a ball. It's a ball. It's allowed. Everybody knows we're talking about
if I
ballon
took
balls.
one ball, one side of it was white.
Yes.
Then the other side was gold.
Yes.
What was that to achieve?
Well, that's the commission decided to use those balls, but that was
A
not
little
the,
catcher won't hurt, anyways.
A bit of
it
kitchen.
was yeah, that was what it was. The weight the same, the sizes were the same, the felt the same. However, the concern of the NDC that a ball was distinct to some extent.
One particular one.
Yes, could be true because these are balls that have been handled for long. So there'll be scratches.
These are not
here and
new
there.
balls.
They were not new.
Okay.
There'll be scratches, dents, and all of that around them. So, well, they could be fair to say that balls nenyepe because they were back one has.
So one will have a scratch there, like you said,
Yeah.
distinctive features.
Yes. So
not all balls are created equal.
maybe Johnny's balls.
Charlie, all this confusion, I blame it on the green rubber bag. You know there was a green rubber bag. Where did they bring it from?
Was it green and purple?
Take away.
Was it
Take away.
Take away bag.
Take away
Or
bag.
somebody's food.
I blame this whole confusion on that rubber bag.
On the thank you take away.
Yes, the rubber bag in which they put the balls. I blame all this confusion on the rubber
Put
bag.
more flesh on the bones. Why?
The rubber bag.
Are you saying it's not befitting of a world
About
class?
tournaments and how balloting is done. Rubber bag.
No, but that came later on.
No, but the rubber bag was there. That was
Thank
the
you.
final. That was the final thing.
After
they picked
all
from.
the confusion.
Yes, and that was what determined
That's the
number
best
1
the
and number
EC could
8 and
do.
number
Yes,
12.
yes,
It was the rubber
yes.
bag. I blame the rubber bag.
Not the balls.
No, it's the rubber bag, the container. That's where the problem is.
Thank you.
We are not focusing on the problem.
The problem is
What brought the balls? The rubber bag.
So ultimately, finally, everybody now knows where they fall on the
Yeah.
balloting paper. It's causing some new slogans to be formed and
the
some I've seen some songs and so on and so forth. Can we take a quick listen though to Fifi Kwete, is the General Secretary of the NDC, talking about the number 8 that has been picked by the NDC.
To ensure that the very motto of the Electoral Commission, which is about transparency, is here. That's why we insisted on making sure nobody had any advantage. So the outcome, the NDC is okay with that. We're not happy with the fact that the second round, even though all of us agree that nobody should have a view of the particular cause, MPP still insisted on the win. But we're dealing with a group that obviously is very worried about transparency. And you can see that every single person who went to the second round, nobody looked except the NPP. Only they tried to look into it. And why they were even insisting not to have an opaque situation where nobody has advantage. Only they would know. But what is written is written. And I can say for a fact that the victory of the NDC is written. And we are going to make sure we work hard. And that reality will come to pass.
General, were there any expectation before coming here in terms of picking the numbers? Were there any expectation?
No, we basically believe that if humans don't make such, shall I call it, dispositions. They say man proposes, God disposes. So coming here, I basically just ask for God's plan, God's will to be done relating to the NDC, and we're sure that whatever happens is exactly the will of God.
How is the NDC going to communicate this to its supporters?
You wanted to fight the process. That's what I'm saying, that we clearly made an effort to make sure the second round, at least some proper transparency was done. And all of us had agreed, but it was obvious that MPP clearly did not want it. That's why you saw, even though every single one of the, out of the 9, 8 people went and nobody looked into the box because we wanted to ensure that no advantage is given by way of viewing and choosing what you want. But MPP, as usual, decided to do what MPP does, which is basically going against what you call norms, going against convention, going against access.
Have you served your party well? Because the boss came first, you inspected the boss, gave it a green light. It goes around, it picked one.
Yeah, but that's the more reason why we insisted that for the second time, nobody has an advantage.
So the NDC is number 8 there after that balloting exercise, a very controversial balloting exercise. But before that, we talked about Nana Kwame Bediako, aka Cheddar, walking out of the EC's office after that bit of a scuffle. Shall I say, not scuffle, scuffle is intense, but exchange of words with the EC.
One, I'm folding it. I'm folding one. And we're not satisfied with our arrangement. I can't stand behind this man, and I think that Ghana is a country where equality, equity, and empowerment.
EFM 92.7, lifestyle radio station.
In a place like this, then it's not fair. We all went through an amount of work and process to be able to qualify. Now, once we're qualified, you cannot put some aside and deal with some first and deal with some later. You cannot tell us that the last 4 who are independent will now choose out of 9 their two. And if that's what the law is, I'd like the media to know that from now, the country will prepare for that. That any time we will walk into this place and we are independent candidates, then we're second-class citizens.
We are not saying you are second-class citizens. What we are saying is that this has been the convention.
This has been the convention. Well, that's according to the EC. I think we can park it for the balloting, but the numbers game.
The most experienced member of the commission. Yes, Mr.
The one who said that we have trees and plants and animals on there.
In 2016 register.
But he was but since you remember, he held a press conference and told us that everything was okay. That the register we have, in fact, their words are robust and credible. Robust and credible. You speak English.
I think I saw the list on our screens, and you can check it out on Facebook. We're streaming. Let's take a look at the final numbers. Okay, so there we have it. This is the balloting that caused Wahala at number 1.
Fastiano Mami.
And then Daniel Augustus.
Domestication.
Okay.
This is a new latte.
Yes, this is a new latte. Also a son of the great Daniel Augustus Latte. So he is actually junior to
the original latte.
Yes.
Okay.
You remember what happened to my
domestication.
Henry Herbert Latte.
Yes.
I'm sure he gave up. But you know, Dan Latte's formation of the GCPP and all of that was revealed to him by God. He said he was sleeping one day, and God says, "Latte, latte, teshi, akagana yai, teshi." So God told him that, look, they are taking Ghana away.
Wake up.
Go and save Ghana. So then at number 3 we have no.
One journalist,
on
one
Friday,
car.
When the place was tense and busy and all of that.
Then she walked in late. And then the whole place erupted in laughter.
Crosby, you see why we love her. This is why we love her. She will be able to handle all the pressure, all the tension that we see in this country easily. You go. So imagine Democracy Hub. They are demonstrating. So they'll write to the presidency and say that we want, Madam President, we want to meet you. We are not happy.
Charlie, I mean, Katie Amos should partner here.
Katie Amos should partner if you don't go.
Yeah, Charlie. Can you imagine? Our Katie Amos, if you do press,
please help us imagine.
If you come, put in hand for your eye top.
Comic relief.
I didn't believe I'm wrong. And then at number 4, Gum. Also for Shaboso. Yeah, also for Shaboso.
But we've not heard him so loudly this time around, oh?
Yeah, after the wife left him.
But he says campaigning is not on social media, it's on the ground.
But we also good on the ground.
There was more momentum for him in 2020.
In fact, he was the third force in 2020.
Yes.
But now I think he's.
There was a lot of talk about him, like the way we talk about Cheddar now. It was Goom. Everybody was talking about at the time.
And then at number 5, Man Kofi Apalo.
Okay, Liberal Party
and
of
then
Ghana.
Mohammed Frimpong. They are in court actually. They are largely Frimpong. They say, no, boss, you cannot come and because.
Why is the founder not running?
Nana Kuni she's ambassador plenipotentiary. Do you know what that means?
She should resign.
Hey, what does that mean?
You don't know?
Plenipotentiary.
Yeah, potential. Plenipotentiary.
My bad.
If Helen cannot say this one.
Ambassador.
Then it's wait.
Ambassador at large. Plenipotentiary.
All right. So Mohammed
when
is...
the president wants to go somewhere and he can't go.
You go.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that was what Dr. Edward Nasigri Mahama of the PNC used to do for Akufo-Addo.
But we never heard about his revocation or the revocation of his appointment.
No, it was a silent night.
Holy night.
Nana Akosua Frimpoma CPP. Freedom!
Love it.
And then there's John Dramani Mahama.
Somebody said at least this year there's no electric shock. When we're having the Afro Connect, this was just on Saturday.
Yes.
Then she was, we called upon her to give a word or two, and then the person was talking, the person said, oh, well, I mean, there's no hope, but at least there's no electric shock.
And then John Mahama is next at number 8. Yes. And then Hassan Ayariga.
Sorry.
Oh, Alaji Kose, Nana Kafra. More offense, Yumbra.
Yeah. Is at number 8. Kofi Granting. You know, Kofi Granting speaks like Helen.
Yeah. But his own is thicker than Helen's.
Much thicker. Much straight from Americano.
But he has been here for a long time with us.
Oh, really?
Ibrahim Eje.
I didn't even know. I thought he had just landed fresh one.
And still.
I recall in 2020 when they disqualified him. What press conference didn't this man hold?
Kofi Granting. In fact, he was with the demonstrators over the weekend. I saw him carrying some pans and to signify Galamsey. He's been very... I've heard a lot more of him this time round than any other time, shall I say.
He was pretty active in the last
one.
Yes.
But they disqualified.
Very active. Yeah, they disqualified him. I think he's also had to do with the signatures. Yes, so what happened was that same set of constituency people will endorse Crosby's form for president and endorse my form too for president.
And you can't do that.
No, you cannot.
It has to be one singular signature for one.
Are you saying that there are only 6 people in the constituency?
Somebody can make that a business.
I think there was an instant where the CPP, was it the CPP executive who endorsed for PNC or the other way? It was.
They are in Krumais.
One umbrella.
And then we have John Chumberima. He seems very serious, but he doesn't have the publicity.
In fact, I spoke with Chumberima when he first he launched his campaign. We subsequently went to speak with him. I was saying that he's only doing this for publicity.
He wants to show face.
Yes, he does not really want to become president. And he told me this is something he's serious about. He's going to look for the money.
Who told him to come and aspire?
It's a dream he has to see.
Okay. He says he actually would love to speak with 3FM 92.7.
It always starts with a dream.
Yeah. And he has very, very interesting policies. He wants, I think, 4 working days.
Jamano.
When did
I
he
like
start?
it.
Oh, somewhere last year.
4 working days. And then the rest will be chilling days.
The rest will be weekends.
Wow. Some want us to work 24 hours. Some want us to work limited hours.
Policies. So I told him that you are only showing your face. You don't want to really go into it. He said he was serious about it. So when I saw him on Friday, when he picked his position on the ballot, I shook his hand and I told him, he looks like a man of his word.
You pledged your support.
You pledged your support.
Why didn't you partner him?
And then after George Chumberma, there's Nana Kwame Bedia can say, "Na you see ya journey." Say China for no crown never catch from say in the way you try near the Shebite say, "Mama moye tintin." Yet Tomo mono moye tintin. And Tomo mono moye tintin.
You were supposed to bring the seed to Kumasi.
Buzia tried it didn't work.
He wants to come back and do it.
The women at Kaneshi Market beat it with tomatoes. And then there's Alan Kujo Tremontaine. GTP, yeah.
So that is the list as it stands.
So finally, John Alan Kojo Tremontaine is on the ballot.
Yeah, and is at the bottom.
No, but that's a good sell.
Yeah, so
an easy sell.
NDP is at the top. He's at the bottom. NDC is number 8. Cheddar has number 12. That's he brought the 12 one. Apostolic.
Yes.
12
what did he
pointers.
call them?
12 pillars.
12 pillars.
12 pillars of economic development.
Yeah, apostolic. He put apostolic in there. So
Okay.
Apostle.
Okay, hopefully he gets more than 12 disciples.
So finally, Alan is on the ballot.
Yeah, that's good for him. That's good for him. Finally, what the devil said will not happen.
So his dream was to be in the number 1 position under the colors of
the MPP.
red, blue, white. But it didn't happen.
Is it truly an advantage for a candidate to be at the top of the balloting paper? Because I've heard a lot of people say,
it's an easy sell.
It's an easy sell. Number 1, a through all of that, easy for you to.
But
you would also have to understand the demography of our electoral
the electorate.
The electorate, because a lot of the people in the 2000 election, when did Gushi come? Is it
2000?
Gusitano
and Reku UGM and Reform Party.
It caused the NDC so much headache. Yeah. Because here was a man who resembles Rollins.
Yeah, fair.
Yes.
And Kufo was good.
And Rollins was not going to be on the ballot. And the confusion was, when you go, at the time, the campaign was that when you go, the fine man, the white man, he's the one. Vote for him.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Umbrella, the Katawia, how do you call it? Vote for him.
Akataria.
Vote for him. And this man was not going to be there.
What?
And let's go on. And this man was not going to be on the ballot. So the NPP was really using that as a selling point against Mills, and some say it is one of the reasons Mills lost that election, because it was very difficult to sell without Rawlings's face. So you were either selling the umbrella or you were selling Rawlings's face, and Gusi came to spoil the matter for them. So faces matter, numbers matter, the colors matter. But where it's difficult for you to tell the people that, oh, our candidate is number 12, number 7, number 6. Just say that, oh, number 1. Even if you don't know, you don't know the person's name, you don't know. When you go, just
the very
first one, just put your finger there. Or the very last one, thumbprint there. It's very easy.
Okay, now, so the word on the street is that MPP has been advertising breaking the 8.
That's right.
Now number 8 is in the bosom of another person. How do you tell people who have, over the past 2 years, bought the idea of breaking the 8, that now you are no longer at number 8, you are at number 1, consider me. 71 days to the elections.
That's right.
It's I mean, especially down there in the villages and the hamlets and all of that. You had sold this message to them. You have gone back, reiterated it so many times and told them that Charlie is number 8, vote breaking the 8. It's not Thomasum. How do you go back there to tell them that, okay, we are not breaking the 8 again, I'll choose number 1?
I think it will still be an easy sell.
Are you sure?
I think so.
If you mention 8 in your campaign, you have.
They have to now stop. They have to now stop saying that it's quickly.
But that's what I'm saying. That all your message, Dr. Baumia.
In fact, they are T-shirts. I'm sure you've seen them breaking the 8. Plenty. I've seen all those T-shirts.
So how do you? And you see that Sixtus will tell you the dynamics in the villages when you go to campaign. You don't stay in one village for a long time. You touch and go, touch and go, touch and go, touch. And the possibility of coming back to those places, unless it's a stronghold or some place that you feel you can win, you don't actually go there. You
there's some real activity there every now and then.
So you touch it. Let's use Accra as an example. Circle, you touch and go. You come to Kanda, you touch and go. You go to Ringway Estate, you touch and go. You're just touching and going. You will never come here again. If you had gone there to sell the message to them and they had waited for you up to 1 a.m., 2 a.m., for them to hear the message of 8, how do you go back there to go and tell them? Because as for the constituency people, they live there with them. The parties,
so you tell them that we are still breaking the 8, but we are using 1 to break the 8.
This formula.
What board mass is this?
We'll break the 8. No. But go to the top.
Yes.
You get the point.
We need to start from the top.
NDC also had said that.
No, but actually that sells the message.
Well, but NDC also had said that.
You need to break the NDC. The NDC is on the 8th position. But we are so if you want to
you see your calculations.
you see that.
You see the calculations.
You see the Black Stars calculation.
I'm telling you.
So if you want to cripple the NDC, vote number 1.
You see, the NDC has also been telling people that don't break the 8. Now you have 8.
Now all of a sudden you want to break the 8. Oh, Charlie, this balloting has caused a lot of problems. But of course,
but we should blame it on the rubber band. We should talk about the PNC.
Yeah.
I am continually getting disappointed in the PNC.
Why?
And the CPP.
Why?
I will not even mention the PPP.
PPP is not also.
No, PPP is not on.
But PPP on the day, they said they were in the building.
They were filling.
They filed the forms late, and the EC said they'll receive it but not accept it.
But do they have a presidential candidate?
Yes.
Who?
Is it not sound something? They do. I mean, if they don't have a presidential candidate, how would they have filled the forms?
But what happened to Bridget Jogbanuku? She left.
Oh no, she did not contest this time around. So they were in the building before 5 o'clock, but they submitted their forms after 5, and that was a concern the EC had, that it's not here that you come to complete your form, fill it at home and then bring it.
And so they didn't do the homework at home. They brought the homework to the school to come and do it. Those who watch account drama on Sunday, they won't do their homework. The Monday morning, they very early, and they come and do that. And sometimes they come and copy the wrong thing.
But the PNC is gradually becoming a non-entity in our body politic. Which is sad.
Chairman,
why single them out like that?
Chairman, no, you see, the 2020 elections, they had serious difficulties. This year's election too, they say. In fact, this year they are not even on the ballot, which is sad. And that is why I keep on saying that there's a PNC, the CPP, the PPP, and the APC. They should just come together and stop all this. And whether we like it or not, the thing that Janet Nabla and her people did, it affected the PNC.
Yeah.
Whether we like it, whether the PNC wants to admit it or not, it affected them.
They hurt the PNC
they
very
hurt
bad.
the PNC very bad. Because they went away with some really active people. You get it? And I think they are still in court. Yes, they are still in court. So the PNC, like I keep saying about the CPP, should not even be thinking about the 2024 elections. They need a flag bearer figure to be able to manage the party, because it's also about leadership. It's also about leadership. It's about presence. And you need people who can show that the party is present, who can show that the party is part of the political discourse of the day and can contribute to the national conversation every now and then. But beyond that, winning this election is not something that the PNC should be thinking about or even contesting. PNC, CPP, they should spend the next 4 years conferring, agreeing, compromising, and building something more formidable for 2028. As for this one, they shouldn't have even tried. Likewise, the CPP, APC, PPP. I don't think so. I think it's a waste of their time.
I honestly think that also the Electoral Commission be doing the most, because Bernard Mona is very livid. He's not too happy. I got disappointed that the Electoral Commission was talking about clerical errors in the form. And people have made the argument that even Ekriadonko got it right. So how come all the people, English-speaking people,
wait to. But there's always an
11
opportunity for you to rectify your errors.
Well,
Yes,
Benamona says he rectified the errors, but the EC still thinks that the errors, whatever.
Unless they go to the substance of law, those constitutional provisions that you would have to satisfy under 64 or 63, unless that is where the problem is. But if it's about names, this person has endorsed you and endorsed another person, if it's about that one, I really...
See, I was even asking the question the other time that, look, we don't have a register as we speak because the NDC is contesting the register.
Technically.
Right? The Electoral Commission, after they exhibited the register, came to say that they have a robust and credible register and that we should ignore all the noises from the NDC and NEC, so that's making that. Subsequently, they come back and say, oh, our doors are open for you to come so that we can iron out the issues you're talking about. So technically, as Sixtus is saying, we don't have a register. Now, you will need a credible register based on which people can then confirm that their names are in the register and use that to endorse you. So if I were part of the 11, for example, I would go to court and test the law that you don't have a register. How then did you conclude that these people are legitimate and they can
vote?
Yes,
In fact,
because in the 20, you remember it wasn't the 2016 or 2020 election, one of the elections, the Electoral Commission disqualified people based on that.
Yes.
That particular thing based on that. So the Electoral Commission itself is flip-flopping, and that's why somebody said that if this country will have
Indum cases.
Yes.
Forged signatures.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. And the Electoral Commission also had said at the time that some of the people on the register at the time were not, in it. So if you don't have a register now, so compiled and properly distributed to all the political parties, how are you expecting them to know each one? And that, for me, is enough basis for Bernard Bonner to go to court and say, hey.
But beyond the issues of the register that you've spoken about, for the PNC's issues, I remember the chairperson of the commission saying that Bernard Mones also had concerns about signatures, that there was almost the same signature for other people who were supporting his candidature and all of that. So it may go beyond the register for the PNC's issue. I'm sure we'll be able to play the commission's explanation on why Bernard Mona was disqualified. But talk about the register too. Asidu Nketia was, after they filed their nominations, also raised similar concerns that we don't have a register right now. So if somebody endorses me right now, and then in the coming days, you tell me that, okay, the person who has endorsed me should not have endorsed me because the area he endorsed me at
doesn't fall within his
no more
jurisdiction,
voting there and all of that, then are you going to disqualify me because of your incompetence?
And that's all I'm saying, that look, as it is now, the Electoral Commission by their own rules, they need to step forward. I want to also know if the political parties have presented their fully audited bank accounts. They are supposed to present fully audited accounts, party accounts. In the 2016 election,
that should have happened.
It was only the PPP 6 months prior.
6 months prior to the election.
In fact, in the 2016 election, it was only PPP that had satisfied that prerequisite. Dr. Papa Kwesindo. Only he had been able to do that. All the others, NDC, MPP, they were not able to do that.
Well, time check, it is some 2 minutes past the hour of 8. This is still 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. It's a holiday special edition. It's Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day. Very quickly, we'll be getting into some good music. But before that, this one is on 3news.com. Police to put arrested Democracy Hub demonstrators before court to face justice. We had a bit of a time getting in this morning because of the roadblocks that have been set up by the Ghana police. But on Sunday, 22nd...
experience this morning.
Surely.
So I used the Kanda road. Kanda, then you turn into the post office side, then you join the Jubilee House. It's called Presidential Drive. Then you turn in here. So when I got just after the post office, before you turn the curve at which you turn onto the Presidential Drive, there were two gentlemen there, nicely dressed. Yeah. Said they flagged me down. Stop. Because the speed at which I was going, I needed to get here at a certain time. Then they were busy. I stopped. Then one of them asked me, he said, "Good morning, sir." "Good morning, sir." "Where to?" "I'm going to my office." "Where's your office?" 3 FM. "Okay, we have blocked the road. So please go forward, go straight." And I'm like, "Go straight to where?"
Do you know where
3 FM is? And he said, "Well, I don't know there." I said, "Yes, 3 FM is here. So if I go straight, where am I going? Accra?"
In fact, when you go, if you had gone straight past Afrikiko and taken a turn on the Liberation Road, that is also
blocked. So if I had gone straight, I would have gone back to join the Kanda Road through to the Fiesta Royal traffic light, then to where again? Then I'm going to
and that's what I'm saying.
Reach roundabout.
Even that point, the Liberation Road where you'd have turned from Afrikiko,
it's blocked.
It's blocked.
Wherever you'd have come from,
so if you had gone straight, you would have been going straight.
No, but I get the sense that the men and women manning the barricades, they don't know town.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're to control traffic and you don't know where
you don't know the area, it's because you should be able to give me the alternative.
Yeah. That's right.
Clearly, because the way he said it, and I'm like,
we are interested in the optics, the outlook. Yeah, we have crowd control.
So I was beginning to boil up because time too was running.
Chairman,
and one of them we
are interested in the optics. We have plenty people. We have. What do they call that thing? Helmet and shield and we like that.
Charlie, but this is one small demonstration. This is one small demonstration. See what we have done. See, do you know that the way to 37 military hospital has been blocked?
Yeah.
A hospital. The way, so access to a hospital has been blocked.
That's what I'm saying. We are interested in the optics.
I'm just saying that I don't know whether we are getting the seriousness of it.
No.
For me,
it's not a clinical.
About Ghana Police Service.
It's a referral hospital.
You are not serious because we are interested in the optics. You are talking about a hospital. Some play there your eye top.
There could be exceptions. I mean,
there are no exceptions. I tested that. No. How many people in this our town go to the hospital in an ambulance? How many people?
Taxi and all of that.
Taxi.
And you get in your car, you go. That's how we know it here.
Yeah.
You are doing
I mean, a country where a hearse can be misconstrued or misunderstood or misidentified as an ambulance and vice versa.
I mean, the person is dead. Where are you in a hurry to? I've never understood.
I went to the mortuary, I saw a hearse and they had the inscription ambulance. Wow. Ambulance for the dead?
Because that's the one person that can take it easy.
But why have we tightened security so much on this particular demonstration?
The police say they have picked intelligence.
So
these demonstrators were onto something untoward. I'll find the message.
Charlie, this is the second time they're doing this. So this
No, this is different. This is at a higher level.
This is re-Occupy Julobi House. They had done Occupy Julobi House. Helen, you're part of
there.
I'm talking about the security arrangement.
Right.
Yes. So, I agree with you. Now, is it not strange to have a serial demonstrator as president? Who also came to power based on demonstrations from Occupy Flagstaff House, all the key members in his government, most of them
start from Kumi
Preko.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the serial demonstrator thing. Then now the demonstration that brought Nanado to power, Occupy Flagstaff House. All the big names you can mention Yofi Grant,
they all became ministers or CEOs, government functionaries,
MDs, whatever it is. They are still in power, but they are preventing people from. And when they had Occupy Flagstaff House, they allowed them to walk right into the presidency to present a petition to Valerie Sawyer, Omani Boama and the rest.
A deputy chief of staff at the time.
They presented it to them in the Jubilee House. Now, the people can't even get close to within a 300-400 meter radius. They've been blocked. Don't come
Meek Mill can go there and shoot a video.
And sing vulgar songs.
Yes.
In the 8 years that Nanado has been president, has there been any demonstration that succeeded in getting close to the Jubilee House?
No.
Christ the King serve you.
Do you even get close?
No, but the point is that you are a serial demonstrator.
A human rights activist.
So before Nanado became president, he was the guy. I mean, every demonstrator looked at him. Ask Bernard Mona. Bernard Bonner is our current answer to Nanado in terms of who a serial demonstrator is. He attends
on behalf of my brother, I take exception to
Bernard
that
Bonner attends
characterization.
Bernard Bonner attends almost every demonstration.
No, yes.
Once he sees reason to attend, he will attend.
He's dealing with his EC issues. That's why
At the time that he came to lead the PNC, the EC has decided.
But guys, the demonstrators pretty much they've all been arrested now. Over 42 people, and this morning
they've been arrested.
Oh no! At some point they were over.
Then the cells must be overflowing.
Truly. So,
but why did Bakavomawo go and take the key from the police vehicle? And
according to him, I joined the spaces where he was speaking. He said that the car that the police were seeking to tow had first aid supplies and water and food for demonstrators. It was parked under a tree away from the action. So, of course, if you take away their water and their food, then you can't sustain them. They wanted to be there the whole night. So he went and took the key out of the ignition. This morning, about 2 minutes ago, he has.
If you throw that thing away, police can pick it. Swallow
and then the police said, arrest him. But I was thinking, you are saying arrest him. Also, show down, arrest him.
No, they fear. So one is fear.
Bakavomawo has just put something on his Twitter.
And asking, who's wrong?
Yes, the police say, arrest him. Who's wrong?
So he won't arrest.
No, he is a superior.
So he's issuing command.
Yes, to a junior to go and do that.
So, for example.
The junior was also looking at him. Somebody who can take police car.
They can disobey unlawful orders, right?
But at that point, it was a lawful order.
Are you sure?
Yes.
The man was fearing for his life. Because the videos that I saw, the demonstrators are right in front of you, as saying they should grab a man. You want them to pounce on you.
But Oliver Bakavomawo said on his Twitter this morning that he
has been declared wanted.
Yes, he said he said the senior officers know where exactly he is. So he's surprised that he's declared wanted, but they know where
he's not new. He's not new to the law.
He's not new to counterback.
The law should not say it cannot find him.
Yeah.
Because
I'm sure that the police knew that there and then yesterday, if they had arrested him, it would have been chaotic.
Which is also a smart decision not to have arrested him.
But then to also declare him wanted, you're actually trying to feed into a certain narrative that he wants to have, right? And that's not good. For me, I don't get the sense where the police will tell you that you want to demonstrate. We don't have men enough to guide you to demonstrate. But then they will bring men enough or more than enough to prevent you from demonstrating. It has never made sense to me. It has never ever made sense to me. And if you look at some of the arrests that were being made, how the people were being carried, and somebody was actually, a policeman was actually blocking he had put his palms on the eyes of a demonstrator who had been arrested. And I said, what's going on?
What is this?
Was it not under Nanado that we held a funeral ceremony for Floyd? Or was
George Floyd? Yeah. I can't breathe.
And we are doing the direct opposite of everything that we said was wrong in America. We're just perfecting everything here. I'm not saying that the demonstrators are not wrong in certain instances, because some of the things that they have done are in excess. But really, what are they asking for? They are asking to go to their presidency and submit a petition of what they think is not going right with their country.
In fact,
they have tried for 3 times. And they have been prevented from getting close to the presidency.
Why does the police think that they can only be a cooperative when they decide somebody can demonstrate?
It's not the police deciding. It's somebody deciding for the police to tell the people.
It seems as though if the police deem it is convenient for them to assist you, that is when you get the go-ahead. But we all know that you don't need permission from the police to exercise your right to demonstrate. I'm with you, Johnny. I'm with you on that point.
This particular demonstration, you remember the first time that they said they were going Bernard Bonner's demonstration? They said they didn't have men enough. Then I was coming to work. The number of policemen I saw behind the Jubilee House, I said, but you say you don't have men to help the people to demonstrate.
Last night,
the people I see here now, they
could have been there.
Last night, I used the 37 road. When you get to the roundabout, the road going to the Kanda side, the one going to the Burma Camp side.
Right.
So I had to go around using the Burma Camp side. And when you go around and you get back to the switchback side, the link there, it was like a camp of policemen and women.
This afternoon, you see some in front of TV3. You see some. They'll be sitting under the tree. And
No, not this afternoon. This morning. When I came in,
French embassy.
when I came in the morning, there were some just out here.
The busy with potato.
Fried potato.
How do you know?
I saw them.
You took one piece.
I was going to buy potato. They were sitting under the tree and they were bringing them food. Those who do not like the food, they were buying. They went to potato mango money on Saturday.
So you see, my point is that the number of policemen and women who have been deployed to man those barricades, it not be small matter.
Yeah.
So if something else is happening, will we have the men elsewhere? I don't understand.
The police
All
said they're
because
doing
we
a
don't want
special
people to
operation.
demonstrate.
No, but you see, for me, you know this Bakavomawa thing started with Fix the Country.
Yes.
The first attempt of government to give them a response was to get splinter groups, Usubempa, Husanadoy, and the rest. They put together and say, "Oh, fix yourself."
Yes.
And then they brought another one to say, "Fixing it." And then they sent Vice President Baumia to come and give us 77 things that the government had done. That was the first sight of this delivery tracker, or what's the name? Performance
tracker.
Every single turn that Bakavomawa and his people have taken, the police or the state have told them, "We don't have space for you." And once you do that, people already have pent up anger. You don't need to suppress them, because if you do that for a long time, when it boils up and blows up, you can't contain it. Sixtus just mentioned that this is just one demonstration. If they decide that they're going to have a series of demonstrations across the country in the manner in which they have had it now, playing football and all of that, we can't contain them. We cannot contain them because people will join. People who are feeling the pinch will join.
And many people are feeling the pinch.
Look, people will join. They keep making statements that you, the police, you are here. You are also hungry like we're hungry. And the policemen are just...
They can't react.
People have been asking. We want people to go to the Galamsey.
They know.
We need you to go to the Galamsey sites. We are seeing pure decay.
No, but to be
you
fair,
can't go there.
let Crosby read the release that he was... that puts some of the issues in
Acrofis.
Yes.
Oh, it's coming from the police.
Yes, it's coming from.
No, they are explaining why...
And the police doesn't speak to us these days. They only write to us.
They write to us.
Dear media.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
Okay. But
so
they have swords.
Day two of the protest there, after people were raising concerns like we are raising now, why police have taken all over the streets, blocked roads and all of that. They said intelligence so far gathered regarding the demonstration suggests that some of the demonstrators are planning to engage in some acts that have the potential to jeopardize the peace, security and law and order in the country. Amongst them, defying the order of the court pertaining to the demonstration, also defy all directions of the police which are in line with the Public Order Act. They also say that some are planning to wield weapons, firearms, and wearing bulletproof vests and helmets. They also say they're picking intelligence that some of the demonstrators want to attack MPs and other state officials, as well as attacking police officers in the discharge of their duties, attacking critical installations, including the seat of government and electric power installations. All these are intelligence the police said they have picked. They also paid intelligence that some of the demonstrators want to encourage members to get catapults and stones ready and using motorbikes to create chaos on the roads and inconvenience the traveling public and storming business centers to cause mayhem amongst others. So these are the reasons why the police is acting how they are acting right now that we're all concerned about.
The very last one, the very last reason you gave. Please read it again.
The very last one is storming business centers to cause mayhem, among others.
You said something about attacking the motoring public or something.
Yes, using motorbikes to create chaos on the road and inconveniencing
we already been inconvenienced.
The traveling public.
If I'm coming here and I could have just used the straight 37 road and I have to go around and I'm still told to go straight, further straight.
So guys, how many electric power stations do we have? within the area that the people want to demonstrate. How many policemen do we have?
There are security zones, we don't know.
Are we saying that if we detail 2 people? And yesterday, one of the policemen in the video was saying that this is the place they have called is a security zone. I don't know where the police gets that idea from.
Which place, which area?
Oh, I think it was around there. Was it 37 or before 37?
The demonstrators originally wanted to come to the Revolutionary Square.
Yeah.
And the police said it was a security zone, so they would not.
One day you wake up and your bedroom will be a security
zone. So that's where you remember the Bank of Ghana demonstration, where the police declared that the Bank of Ghana is a security zone. Fair. But behind the Bank of Ghana, there's Makola Market. There's UTC. Next to the Bank of Ghana, there's a lorry park. Right? There's a trotro station. Opposite the Bank of Ghana, there's Bishop Girls School. Next to the Bank of Ghana, there are business centers, banks, and other things.
And the courts are on the other side.
Yes. So when you, where does the security zone begin? Where does it end? Because the Bank of Ghana is in the middle of a market.
No, Johnny, but we should also
next to the Bank of Ghana. In fact, next to the Bank of Ghana is a former AMA office. They still transact business there. People go there to register their marriages.
So the whole place is a security zone.
But you see, in making that point, we should also not completely discredit some of the things that they have said.
It is very difficult not to, because Sixtus, is the police telling us that all they have to tell us as citizens that it's a security zone?
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about the high possibility of the demonstration degenerating. People pelting stones, using catapults, machetes or cutlass, depending on which school you went to, whether it is a sidearm the person is using, locally manufactured gun. All these are possibilities, and well, we don't know what kind of intelligence they have. So we cannot discredit that. What we can do is to ask whether this is the best response we can get from the Ghana Police Service to this intelligence that they have picked, if indeed the intelligence is real.
Sixtus, the simple thing is, I voted for Nanado. I have a problem. I say I want to go and see Nanado and discuss with him as my president. You say you won't allow me to go.
Nanado has given you regional ministers and MMDCs.
The last time when a demonstration of this nature happened, Helen, you were there. They had blocked 37. The people were behind 37, right? They were there. They had been blocked. The man to receive the petition was standing at the Afrikiku traffic light. And they had blocked the way, the passage to the man. And the petition was there. What sense does it make? The man who is supposed to receive the petition on behalf of the president is under the traffic light here.
The truth is that,
and then me who is supposed to present the petition to the man, I've been blocked at 37. Between 37 and this place, almost like a mile.
How do I fly here?
How do I get to the man?
The truth is that they have really greatly inconvenienced the public. I'm imagining what would have happened today if it were a working day. If people had to go to their offices and the road is blocked, you know what happened on Saturday? Saturday, when I was coming for the Afro Connect, it took me 3 hours. From Silver Star, they had started diverting the traffic, and they will divert you into a longer queue. And by the nature and design of our roads, once you enter, you have entered. There's no way you can't turn left, you can't turn right.
No, we are in this together.
So I think the police has to really rethink its response to some of these things.
All right,
there has to be a better way to handle traffic.
I don't think that Nanado has conducted himself well coming to the seat as a serial demonstrator.
I prefer human rights activists.
No, he's a serial demonstrator who was able to get things done the way he wanted it done. VAT is a big one, Kumi Preko. We suspended it for 3 years just to make sure that what the points he had raised had been listened to. He, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, Kwesi Pratt, Victor Newman, Kakava Cromwell, all of them, they listened to them. And there are many instances of demonstrations that he has had. Why can't anybody go to him to present a petition? In fact, the Kumi Preku demonstration that Nanado led, people died. Who has died at any of these demonstrations that we've had? Who has died at any of these demonstrations? You came to power on the back of demonstrations. Now people want to demonstrate and come and give you a petition, and you have done everything. You remember law school students were sprayed with hot water.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right here.
Gentlemen, let's go
Law school
on this
students
break
were
very, very
sprayed with hot
quickly.
water.
When we come back, we'll talk a lot more about the demonstration and other matters arising.
our national aspirations and things we stand for, our hopes and dreams and things like that, you find us in there. We have a socialist vision that we are able to build an egalitarian society that is able to cater for the vast majority of the people, the greatest good for the greatest number of people, where we all share in our resources and enjoy in the wealth of our country. And then we have a Pan-African vision where we have, like just a few seconds, espouse a united Africa with one government and then one parliament and then all of that. So these are things that we look at and still feel that they are valid for today. They were valid then and they are valid now.
Still valid in 2024. I see you are repping Kenya this morning. Have you been to the demonstration grounds? You've seen the blockages along the way.
Absolutely. We want Kenya in Ghana. Ghana for yen, Kenya in Hokakra.
No, Ernesto, slow down for me a little bit. When you say we want Kenya and Ghana, the Kenyan youth, of course, in recent times, they've been very vocal about their demands on government, their demands on the president. But a part of that messaging came violence, came with it.
Violence from who?
Well,
from the state.
From the state, we saw that as well. Of course, in
the people.
In reaction to the teeming youth that had massed up to make their voices heard, but also we saw the youth in the House of Parliament. We saw
which was
destruction.
A very inspiring moment.
You say it was inspiring. What is so inspiring about that? You say there's no room for dialogue, for join, for conversation, for deliberation, for collaboration without violence?
Yes, the Kenyan state called for it. Ruto was not ready for any dialogue, was not ready for any table, let alone to even discuss or have dialogue. So, under those circumstances, human beings are enjoined to resist oppressors' rule. And that's precisely what the Kenyan people did. And you see, the beauty about Kenya is that what we are seeing there did not just happen. They have organized groups, they have people who go to the communities and constantly engage them on political education in understanding where Kenya is, what Kenya is doing, and what has to be prevented or resisted. And so what we saw, and you find, I was there just about, was it about a month ago or so?
In Kenya?
In Kenya.
Okay.
I attended the protest, and I saw how young people are so involved, and it's not just young people, but people in the creative arts, people of the likes of Uncle Ebo White's stature. Within the creative arts space, using the National Theatre, their National Theatre to organize plays and settings to show the people what is happening in Kenya. The finance bill and why it must be rejected and all of that. Can you imagine that kind of, or you have a Stone Boy or a Shatawali?
So that's what's going on in Kenya. When you juxtapose that against what's going on home soil, have the Ghanaian youth done enough? Are we doing enough to make our voices heard, to be a part of policy making, to be a part of nation building, or are we lagging behind? And have we left it for a few to fight?
I think that there is a reason for the condition we find ourselves, and I'm the last person to blame the Ghanaian or blame the people for where we are. It's the system, and so it's our responsibility to do what is necessary to awaken people to the realities. Instead of, can you imagine that all the people that are praying in the fields, in the forests, in open places, are going to church, are lying on the floor. If all these people come out of the church and occasion that church in the streets about the problems of Ghana, about 90 or 99% of our problems will be solved.
How so?
Because many of our problems is actually a leadership problem. Galamsey is a leadership problem. We are not saying don't exploit our resources. We are not saying that. We are saying that can it be done in a responsible manner? Can it be done in an environmentally friendly manner? Can it be done in a way that, forestals the future? We are not doing that. Talk about even this goat that they are taking out of the soil. And ask yourself whether they are even the ones pricing them. They are not. So you are destroying your environment for pittance. It's simply what's happening. You don't have a refinery, and even if you have, it's in private hands, and it's not even, the money is not even coming to you, and you are not dictating the prices on the international market and all. So the whole thing is a leadership, how do you call it, problem. Talk about corruption. Talk about the blatant stealing, happening on a daily basis. And I hear when Akufo-Addo gets to, the office at the Flagstaff House, or he says the first question he would ask is,
Ernesto, I have to make sure where you are, make sure where you are leading me, I can follow you there too. But have you actually been on the demonstration grounds?
We've been there since day one, and from here I'm going to be there. So
what is happening as we speak?
Well, like I have said, the Ghana police have constituted themselves into an illegality, and they are ensuring that lawful protesters do not have their rights to protest. That's basically what
the Ghana Police Service has issued a number of updates. I think we're on the 4th or 5th one, indicating that the atmosphere has been marred with, is it violence, burning of paraphernalia belonging to political parties and so on and so forth. Did it start off in that manner, or was this a reaction? Or
what's violence about burning a flag? They should save us the drama. The violence is the fact that they are preventing law-abiding citizens from exercising their right of protest. So they are the illegality here, and I think we shouldn't allow them to run away from the illegality that they have constituted themselves into. And it's appalling, it is sad that we have a police service that is supposed to be enforcing the law, rather breaking the law. And so at this point, we are calling on Ghanaians to mass up at the place and ensure that we resist oppressors' rule as enjoined, within the 1992 Constitution. So these are the things. We've seen how about 45 of our protesters have been abducted, and
you say 45. I think
yes.
there was a notice there, some 42. So the numbers are increasing.
Yes.
Are there arrests happening today as we speak, or not yet?
I'm sure it will, but
you are going back.
I'm going back, so you can't guarantee what's going to happen in the next few minutes. But whatever it is, we are not afraid. We would subject ourselves to their illegality, resist where we can, and then send our because the whole idea is to send our message across that hey, stop destroying our water bodies. Our leaders are being irresponsible by engaging in galamsey and ensuring that those in those galamsey sites are still, doing that blatantly. How many times haven't you done documentaries or news items on your TVs, on your other platforms and all of that about galamsey and the ills of galamsey? Go to the 37 military hospital. Just get to the kidney sections. You find kids, 5-year-olds and all of that. And you see the wickedness of it. You, the same people who are involved in this galamsey and destroying our water bodies, polluting them and causing health, havoc and hazards. You are the same person who have then gone to constitute, how do you call it, a foundation, Asase Foundation, and you are talking about, hey, kidney cases are on the rise. Protect yourself. How do
so
you
see,
protect
on the one hand, the actors who are supposed to be protecting us, watching over us, making sure the water is clean, the food is mercury-free, cyanide-free, they're not doing that for us, and yet they're also preventing us from going on the streets and also protesting.
Precisely, and then you have assembled over 2,800 police officers, armed police officers to the teeth. What? Between those who are protesting that, hey, protect our water bodies, and those who are destroying our water bodies and forest reserves and all of that. If you're a leader of a country, how can, what is a wise decision to take under these circumstances? Would you mobilize 2,800 police officers armed to the teeth at the galamsey side to prevent them from destroying our water, river bodies and forest reserves, or you would rather mobilize them against people who are saying that let the right thing be done? But so what is happening there is a stark reality of where the minds of the so-called leadership of this country is. And it's high time we spat some sense into their heads.
Let's bring it back to Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah. Of course, it is Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day today. That is why we have, the holiday was on Saturday, but it's, of course, as per tradition, moved to today. It's Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day. And we talk about youth unemployment, the teeming youth who are at home with, no training, no skills, and not much to do. Kwame Nkrumah's vision for industrialization was key to his governance philosophy. And as to how do you think Ghana can revive that vision today, given the current economic challenges? It's all about finding jobs for the youth so they have purpose, they live in dignity, and so on and so forth.
Well, this can be done if we reduce the partisanship. I think there's excessive partisanship. And because there's excessive partisanship, we are simply running a system of exclusion. You cannot exclude the vast majority of your people and think that you can make progress. Take women, for instance, take the youth. These are, in terms of the population demography, they constitute the majority. And yet, ask yourself, how many young people do you have in the governance, in the decision-making processes of our country? How many women do you have? It's Thomas Sankara that talked about, women holding half the sky, and so we cannot prevent women from being part of decision-making. Why should it always be, at the benevolence of a Mahama or a Kufuor or a Bawumia to choose a woman as a running mate, and then it gives a superficial, effect that, women are being represented, rather than having injunctions, within our laws or our statutes that ensures...
Well, the affirmative action bill has been passed.
Well, you see, and that's another propaganda. You would find out that in a few years down the line, those same feminist groups will come up and say that this thing is useless.
Right.
And the reason why we say that is, I'm a student of history. No place in history have I seen so far where the oppressor affirmed the oppressed simply because the oppressed was simply saying, affirm me. That's simply what affirmative action, is. That, affirm me, call me on to... They will not do that. And even if they are going to do that, they will call the women or they will call the people who would come and enforce that patriarchal order we are trying to break.
Right.
So it doesn't ensure the breaking down of the system. What it simply does is to fortify and then give a superficial outlook that we are doing something about it. So we don't have to be dishonest about the running of our country. We don't have to be dishonest about governance. We don't have to be dishonest if we want to make progress as a people. But the system we have now is one that punishes honesty and rewards dishonesty.
Well, Ernesto, we're wrapping up shortly on this one, but I want to pick your thoughts before we bid you farewell on this one. Youth apathy towards politics and elections seems to be growing. What do you think is causing this, and how do we get more of our young Ghanaians to the table to be active participants, citizens, and not spectators?
And like I said, many of our problems is a leadership, problem. You go to places like Denmark, and once, every citizen is known.
Right.
And once you turn 18, the state knows you, they write you a letter, they, congratulate you for turning 18, they give you access to the voters register and blah, 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 blah. But not just that, they are also interested in what you want to become.
Right.
And so they know those who want to become politicians, next layer of leaders that they want to have, those who want to enter the security services, those who want to enter into other fields and all of that. And then the state finds a way of, networking them into... So nothing is happening by chance there. It's only here that things appear to be happening by chance. People just appear on the scene and then the next day they want to. So it takes some leadership, some planning, some visioneering that is currently missing. And that's what we are saying, that we cannot make progress if we have... And all of this is enforced by the 1992 Constitution.
That's right.
So one of the things the Economic Fighters League have said and continues to say is that the 1992 Constitution is done with what it came to do. It came to ensure political stability. We are grateful. we need to make progress. And that's why we need a new constitution that reflects our hopes and aspirations as a people and connect us in a way that involves everybody. Women are important, young people are important, the physically challenged are important, professional. We are not honing the resource, our human resources, in the most intelligent way that could benefit us. And that seems to be a problem. We have all these professionals, all these educated people.
And you say it doesn't translate into our daily reality.
Exactly.
Well, that's something to definitely expand on further. Nestor, thank you so much for your time this morning. And Nestor Yeboah, Commander-in-Chief, Economic Fighters League, former National Youth Organizer of the CPP, right here with us on 3 FM Sunrise.
Is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. And my last warning to you is that you all should stand firm behind us so that we can prove to the world that when the African is given a chance, he can show to the world that he's somebody.
3 FM Sunrise.
Waiting, we shall no more go back to sleep anymore. We are going to demonstrate to the world, to the other nations, young as we are, that we are prepared to lay our own foundation. As I said in the assembly just minutes ago, I made it point that we are going to say that we create our own African personality and identity. It's the only way in which we can show the world that we are ready for our own battle. But today, may I call upon you all that at this great day, let us all remember that nothing in the world can be done unless it has the purported support of God.
3 FM 92.7.
We have done the battle, and we again rededicate ourselves not only in the struggle to emancipate other territories in Africa. Our independence is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the African continent.
It's 75 days to election 2024. It's a fresh week. Let your decision help Ghana make progress. Decide to do what is right towards election 2024.
You could never be not say your friend when you're the bonnet. Ghana memo you buy and your pepper training and training treasure Ghana man and person money. Coffee babone, me boko Johnnie bonnet. And my something but finish Ghana man say munti, mini. My brother for me what found hundi. From my mother momu jumedi munkulmedi. No say, Yangara assassin a yabode de mayan. Mujana
6 minutes at the top of the hour, 9. Holiday edition of the 3 FM Sunrise Morning Show. We got some sweet messages for you.
Indeed.
What do we have there?
There's 24 hours in a day, but is it ever enough?
No.
It's never enough. Are you ever so hard pressed for time that anytime you crave jollof, the thought of chopping, blending, cutting, slicing, dicing simply puts you off because, well, there's just not enough time for that. Making jollof just got easier with the tasty Tom Jollof Mix. You can now make your finger-licking jollof sharp in 45 minutes or less. If you're wondering how, well, Tasty Tom Jollof Mix has all the ingredients to make jollof already mixed in the pack. All you need is your rice, your water, salt, and seasoning to taste. What are you waiting for? Your delicious jollof, sharp, sharp. Tasty Tom Jollof, delicious jollof, sharp, sharp. Speaking of tasty, tasty food, well, Tom Rick Hotel says you can join in every Sunday for their weekly African buffet. It happens 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. with a live band and delicious grilled dishes. Well, simply dial 050-985-8415 or 050-1565-638 to reserve your table. And what does luck mean to you? Well, for many, luck is that glorious moment when you find money in your trousers or maybe your wig, like I did, right when you are broke. For others, luck is being picked out of a crowd for a reward. For us, luck is a life-changing event, and we believe everyone deserves a shot at it. Luck is coming with prizes so exciting they'll make your head spin. Do you want to be the luckiest? Well, simply dial *712# *712# and get your tickets. The more you buy, the better your chances of winning. And remember, when you hear that catchy jingle, it's your cue to pay attention. It could be your lucky day. Luck is on its way to you and your community, so stay sharp. The luckiest luck is everywhere.
Luck certainly is everywhere. We have Professor Samuel Edujemfi. He's a professor of political science at the KNUST, joining us here on Sunrise Holiday Edition of 3FM 92.7. Prof, good morning. Thank you for your time. Oh, we lost Prof there. We'll have to fetch Prof back right on the line because we want to ask him a very critical question. Is your Ghana or Sajifo's Ghana? Today is the transposed birthday celebration of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Saturday the 21st when we had 3FM Afro Connect. Jollof War Ghana was tops. Ghana win, I'm clean. Now we've transposed the there's a wedding. Professor Kwabena Edujemfi is joining us on the phone line. Prof, thank you very much indeed for your time. Good morning.
Good morning. How do you manage somebody in the problem?
Say again.
How do you manage to fix my CV?
Oh, Prof, you know, God works in mysterious ways. Prof.
You know the Samuel, but the problem is how do you manage it?
It's the work of God. Prof, happy holidays to you.
Thank you very much.
Is Osajifo's Ghana today's Ghana?
It's a difficult one. I'm sure Osajifo's Ghana philosophically is not where we are, because I believe that Osajifo's Ghana would require that we all as Ghanaians, including he himself if he were to be alive, would be that we are all conscious Africans. Even though we first Ghanaians, with our diversity within the country, we would see ourselves as Africans, and that whatever we would do here would have some ramifications on the entire continent. So in many respects, we are to be seen collectively as the Black Star of Africa, as the center or the epicenter for all the positive tremors that you would feel across the United States of Africa. In many ways, any Ghanaian born, nurtured, trained in Ghana would have become a beacon of hope for the entire continent and would assume some leadership position, both in a philosophical, if you like, metaphysical and social, economic and political sense. So that if you met a Ghanaian in any part of the world, it was in the first instance a representation of his country, Ghana, but more so a representation of the collective unity of the African. and that the African ideal, the African philosophy, Ubuntu, you are because I am because you are.
Right.
In many collective sense, that would be that which we would aspire, and we will put our country first, even in spite of our shortcomings as humans. So philosophically, the African Renaissance is what would have resonated in contemporary times if Ghana was to be the kind of philosophy Nkrumah espoused politically, so that his politics was not just internal, but rather continental and better still transcontinental. And that is the type of Ghana that should be around this time able to qualify to go to a World Cup, qualify for African Cup easily, because he understood that games like this will bring internal cohesion and continental cohesion. And therefore, we will not play games with it. I mean, play with our pitches and not work on our stadium and all. So it's a very interesting thing. Even the little things, you would understand that the black man, and for that matter, the Ghanaian, is capable of managing his own affairs. In many ways, the indigenization of our economy, the indigenization of our civil service, and the indigenization of our social and political structures and systems in many ways ought to be a reflection of what we can do and how collectively we can build together. But the question is whether philosophically we've come that far. Nkrumah's own fear, right, about the imperialist agenda, and for that matter, the new colonial construct, is what reared its ugly head against him through the machinations by insiders and outsiders that will topple him. But he will not be the only one who will suffer set fate in Africa among those leaders who were conscious. Patrice Emerson Lumumba, right, in Togo, the Togolese leader was dealt with treacherously. And you find that across the continent and even in contemporary times, where if the West is interested in something within your territory, they will find ways of taking you out. I do not dare to compare, if you like, Gaddafi's oil-rich region to Ghana and to our Kwame Nkrumah and Africa's Kwame Nkrumah.
Prof, let me come through and ask you this. Kwame Nkrumah had ideals, he had values, he had principles that kept driving him to think about the bigger African dream, to think about a Ghana that is self-sufficient, a Ghana that is productive, and a Ghana that is good for its people. Do you get a sense that we have drifted from these ideals, principles, and values, which is why we have what we have today?
Not entirely. We know exactly what we need to do, or what ought to be done. I think what is missing is the element of ethics in the moral that should serve as a substratum or the foundation that will undergird the kind of color we give to our political campaigns and discourses, which allow us to have some meat to discuss, even every other morning or every morning on the morning shows and on radio and television programs across the country, right? We have rich and diverse political discourse on our radio stations over time. And it seems that Ghana has thus far been able to consolidate our gains. So even in terms of the kind of democratic credentials we have chalked in this embryonic state of our democracy. Unfortunately, I think corruption has subsisted. You ask how much did Nkrumah have in his kitty even after the coup d'etat.
Right.
And you compare it to somebody comes to political power today and 8 years is richer than the richest person in Ghana. I mean, it's crazy, you know. So fundamentally, I think what we have suffered is not a deviation from from knowing what we ought to do. See, what we ought to do, we know. We are not blockheaded. Ghanaians are very intelligent. We are very sharp and smart people, even in our parties and also within this country. You pick one Ghanaian, you put him somewhere in NASA, he flies the flag of Africa and the flag of Ghana. You put him either in the atomic energy, in the US, whatever, nuclear field, he excels, right? There are many to mention in our history and even in contemporary times. Brilliant people, excellent people, people who are well schooled and nuanced in the sciences and the literature of our time, right? So that is not where we are lacking. We are lacking in the area of moral consciousness, ethical consciousness of our politics. We have suddenly become thieves, either collectively or individually. And when we rise to political power or any authority position, we rather, in the use of our discretion, assume that it is time to steal or plunder from the state. And I think there should be a certain rising chorus of mea culpa. Maybe we need to begin to beat ourselves and say we are guilty, we are guilty, we are guilty. And the admission of guilt is the first point of call. To know from political corruption through all the institutional corruption up to the lower end, even in our mosques and churches and our family houses and homes, we should all come to the table and say that mea culpa, we are guilty of the fate of Ghana now because we have become armed robbers and petty thieves in our state.
Now,
and when
Prof, sorry, the younger generation. I mean, you are a political historian, you're a political scientist, you have had opportunity to interact with the creme de la creme, you've read the books, you understand it, you can analyze it and make your own deductions and all of that. But the younger generation who need to have that Nkrumah spirit, planted in them, are we doing enough to get the next generation to appreciate that there's something called selfless service, there's something called a united Africa, there's something called industrialization, there's something called Nkrumahism in general? Are we doing enough?
You mentioned my name Kwabena today. Either it came by chance or by a certain
divine.
Supernatural enlightenment.
It's divine.
I will tell you this. I had some interesting dream about one of the candidates few years ago. And I even tried to reach the candidate, either him or her. I could not get to him directly on that particular score. And if I mention it, you know the candidate, even though that candidate will not win. I'll tell you this. The kind of dreams and aspirations that Ghanaians have, I am telling you that our brain has been thievery and corruption. And if we are able to resolve this, Ghana will become a better place. Because the lessons of history are rare. We have the legacies of Nkrumah. We have written some good histories about who we are from the earliest period even to contemporary times. We have built different pieces, right, about what we have done even in the Fourth Republic and the second half thereof. We cannot overlook the fact that the lessons of history are just written on the wall, and we just have to reflect on that and move on with that. What kind of history are we interested in? We must be interested in developmental history and not try to write off our heroes and heroines. Over time, some people didn't want us to talk about Nkrumah because one, either ideological differences, or they could not see him as a collective being or a holistic being who has his excellent point, his good point, and if you like, not so good point. And that in his collective personality, as Ghanaians, we could imbibe something we need to continue with and build on, and that which we need to jettison. In historical studies, we call it continuity and change, so that society evolves. Society is not static, just as our constitution is not static, and it is a living document. And as we keep on evolving as a people, we ought to become better technologically or scientifically, economically, socially. We need to evolve and get better through the lessons of history. And the lessons of history, at least, have taught us fundamentally in development studies that when you are looking at distribution of resources, right, rentier states that will not allow for state actors or individuals to have a say-so in the politics of the country, rather prevent the state from paying tax. They will use the oil resource to take care of the people and to even to an extent let them benefit to have some in their pockets every month, at least to buy their freedom and to buy their independence.
Okay.
Ghana is not like that. We speak our mind, we pay our tax, we are interested in our democracy. There are institutions that are set up to even govern our mineral resource, including the oil we found and what we are working with today. The reason we have not been able to move faster, for me, I think, is the question of political corruption, where a minister aims at getting $1 million, and if he gets it, it's an achievement. Where somebody comes in with no CV, pointing us to the kind of work he or she has done the past 4 years, 5 years, or 10 years. But only what we would find is sometimes registered companies that have done no business, right, since they were, giving certificate of commencement. Or better still, for some of them, either straight from national service, or some of them, all what they know is that they have been party followers or foot soldiers who have spoken with overt bravado on political platforms and have earned some ticket to serve the country. Whether you came by rich TV or not, the fundamental essence of what we are talking about is that if you are a conscious Ghanaian, you put Ghana first. You will not be seeking for money to build high-rise buildings with no history to back your wealth.
I see.
That
Prof,
makes you a thief, and a thief for that matter.
Let me ask you. Right. Sorry. Let me ask you this final question. Will there be another Kwame Nkrumah to lead Ghana?
There will never be another Kwame Nkrumah. He is unique, he's exceptional, and all. But if you want us to go into more anthropological and philosophical discussion, that would be great. We may have another who has the spirit of Nkrumah, but there will not be another Kwame Nkrumah.
Where the spirit is what? You are talking about.
Exactly what we are talking about.
You are talking about modesty. You are talking about a guy who had honesty, integrity, a guy who didn't steal. And as of the time when the 1966 coup happened, I mean, you could actually literally tell what was in his bank account. You are talking about opacity, political corruption, etc. How then do you conclude and say that there could be another with the spirit of Nkrumah? If the spirit of Nkrumah dwells in you, you certainly will not be doing the direct opposite of what Nkrumah would have done. Yes?
That's exactly the point. I was talking about Kwame Nkrumah in the sense of his own tampering. He has his own signature. He has his own personality. But when you have a measure of a spirit on another philosophically, as we have discussed, then we know that there will be some continuity in terms of the ideals. The CDP as a party, which is moribund in many ways, still holds on to these ideals. There are others in the MPP and the MDC and some of these political parties that have emerged hold on to these ideals, both young and old. They are there. But whether when they rise to political power, they will not be, if you like, exercise, right? Exercise of the spirit of Nkrumah, and that they would rather not be possessed by the spirit of thievery, kleptomania spirit. I don't know how individuals who see in their podcast campaign to project the spirit of Nkrumah, and when they win podcast power, they are exercise of that spirit. They are believers of that spirit, and they are rather possessed of another spirit. So we need to ask ourselves, what is about our government?
I hear you.
And what is on the seat of governors?
I hear you. Professor Samuel Kwabena Edujemfi is a political historian and a political scientist with a KNUST. Prof, thank you very much. It's been a long time. I was just telling Sixtus about the fufu and all the things. He didn't actually know that you were a pastor and all of that, but that's a conversation for another day.
Yes, exactly the point.
Yeah. Sixtus had wanted to become a Catholic priest, but conditions precedent and conditions subsequent.
So exactly the point. If you, for many of us, including Nkrumah himself, if you have a stint with the Bible and you stay with it for some time and you try to understand the interpretation thereof, something will be left in you. I think that a lot of the failure we have seen in our country today comes from the church, the mosque, and the shrines. I've had a conversation on your sister FM station in Kumasi,
right?
And I touch base with this particular point. The fact that the pulpit you encounter every Sunday will determine the person you would also become. We need more conscious preachers, not only preachers who have been to seminars.
Prof, thank you very much. We're grateful for your time and enjoy a great weekend and a holiday as well. Thank you so much indeed.
You're welcome.
Proud of Kwame Nkrumah. We are the king of Africa. Lord God have mercy. This one is a special vacation.
Morning.
To us and
on 92.7. Sunrise on 3
Why did you live so soon? I miss you so. When we are gonna see you again.
Baby,
oh my God. Black Rasta.
But he said something. He said, when you are sick, you go to London for treatment. When we are sick, we die in Kolebu.
Yeah, Kolebu is a graveyard. I know people disagree with me, but well, it's 16 minutes after 9 here on 3FM 92.7. Game Park morning is here again. Yeah. Napa Eviani and Yumbre. Take it like Mojaduro. Duro. I didn't see you on Saturday though. You promised that you were going to be there, Nana. You didn't turn up. Helen was looking for you. She didn't find you. Yeah, all over the place. When the jollof was done, we're looking for who to share it with. We didn't find you.
Forgive me, my darling.
You are forgiven, please.
Forgive me.
You are forgiven.
I'll make it up to you.
I'm
for
the
next
man
event.
you promised. You are asking another person for forgiveness.
Woman power.
Women.
But I'm sorry.
Exactly.
You promised me.
Sorry, my
when
dear.
Sixtus was at the back end,
please,
you are now
passed
apologizing to somebody who didn't know anything about
affirmative
the
action. Affirmative action. Thank you.
Don't worry.
Say the president has signed Aka airline. People will see where you collect it. Nana, welcome. How you doing?
I'm very well. Thanks for
How's
asking.
Game Park doing?
Game Park is doing very well. I want to say a very big good morning to all our listeners and then wish them happy holiday.
Right.
And then we are here today to announce the winning numbers for Pick 4 and
People
Pick
are
1.
not playing.
Hey, who told you?
People are playing. People, no, as in people are not playing or people are playing.
Like,
Or people are using,
I like the word play.
Or people are using the holiday to try and grab some money to go and
People
chill.
are really playing.
They are playing.
Yeah.
They are not playing, but they are playing. As a moon, they are grow. But okay. Yeah. All right, let's hear you.
All right, so this morning I'm bringing you the winning numbers for this morning's draw. We will be back again noon and then in the evening. For pick 4 winning numbers for today, we have 4.
4.
We have the direct starts from 5, 4, 7, and 1. So if you play the direct, these the gets your 1, and you don't have to stress. In few minutes, if you want, we just have to give you your number in Momo because you'll be staking on phone.
The money will come onto
you don't
your
have
phone.
to call anybody to confirm.
No pressure. The money's on your phone. See the way Helen's excited.
Women and money.
It's not good at all.
Women and money, So winning numbers for pick 4 today is 5, 4, 7, 1.
5, 4, 7, 1.
So if you staked it in that order straight, you've won.
You've won.
Yeah.
How much are we looking at?
If you staked 1 CD for straight, the direct, you get 5,400.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Pardon?
Oh, people are winning,
If you stake 5, 4, 7, 1
today,
straight,
1 CD direct, you win that amount.
5K.
Yeah.
Wow. Helen, breathe in. Out.
And for the pick 1 winning number for today is 14. For that one is from 1 to 36.
Okay.
But for the pick 4 is just from 0 to 9.
Right.
So every day choose any random numbers from 0 to 9.
Right.
You just have to pick 4.
Right.
And if it plays, you win.
I see. And then the random.
And the random too is the mix. So when you go to the portal, you just dial star 946 hash. Then it will give you the options if you're able
star
to 946 hash. It will take you directly to the portal. Then it will give you an option whether you want to do pick 1, pick 4 direct or straight. So if you choose the direct, it will give you details whether you want the straight or the mix. But for the pick 1, it's just 1 digit.
One number
from 1 to 36.
946 hash. Star 946 hash.
Okay. Yeah. So you do that and you're done. When you win, nobody will come and engage.
So at this time, people have the monies on their phone.
Yes, and one exciting news about it is that if you dial the USSD, we are giving you free 30 cedis bonus for new subscribers.
Star 946 hash. If you type it now and then you send, if you're a new subscriber, you get 30
getting 30 cedis. I tried it myself, but because I'm working for the company, I'm not allowed.
Why did you try?
No.
Why are you blocking Helen's chance?
Helen, you can try. You get 30 cedis.
Hey.
Right, yeah, so you can try DJ, try it.
Yeah, the 5,400 that has really touched my heart, but
try it and see.
I can get something hot this morning.
Hey, Alaji, you can sing gospel like this. So we want to say congratulations, big congratulations to all our winners for today, and then we are remembering them to maximize your chances of winning. So you can pick 4 mix or pick 4 direct, or you can choose pick 1. Remember that Game Park Limited, we are giving you the chance to win more moolah. They should play again in our next draw to win more cash.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me give you a vivid account after the money has now landed in your account. How Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's overthrow happened. Here's Kwesi Hesse. Kwesi Hesse was the cameraman and photographer of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He's the last man standing, and this is what he had.
When a ruler is useless, you depose him. And therefore, we have deposed Kwame Nkrumah. We don't want tyranny or anything here. And
I was sharing the same office with him. I sat near the door. There's a small table there. He had this table, a huge table over the other side. But most of the time, if we're free, I'll be walking around and at times to call and send men to call somebody to do other things.
This man,
so I was very. No, the fact is, I was very close.
Ever happened in Ghana?
Yes.
February 24, 1966.
This coup was carried out completely because of the things that had happened in Ghana and because of the tyranny and the despotism of Kwame Nkrumah, the deposed president. Everybody in Ghana was fed up with it.
Chris Hesse was only a 24-year-old when he left the then Gold Coast Film Unit and was seconded to the office of the president.
Our independence is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the African continent.
The best in the morning is on 92.7 Sunrise on 3
I went
FM.
to Burma, to India, then to Russia, then to China. From China, we went to Hanoi when the coup came.
they do not tell us that we should unite, that we are all as good as we are able to make ourselves once we are free.
The day after the announcement, there will be confusion in the Ghana.
The best in the morning is on 92.7 Sunrise on 3 FM.
Meant something. All of us there had no address. Yeah. By the message of the Chinese government.
I just want to give you the assurance that I am on my way, Biafra. I am on my way.
92.7.
Then I didn't understand the mood in which he was. I couldn't understand him, but I understood him when we were flying back to Moscow. All the ministers left the president. Then they said, what has happened in Ghana is what is going to happen over the continent of Africa. There will be several coups, and we continue until the whole of the continent, the whole of Africa will go down into the pit. And then the new Africa will grow out of the ashes.
So make a ask, Kuma, where you
Unlike many of the people on that trip who were thrown into jail on returning to Ghana, Hesse went on to become one of the country's best filmmakers of all time, working as a videographer for all presidents who came after Kwame Nkrumah. He headed the Ghana Film Corporation, which Nkrumah had established, worked there for more than 30 years until he retired in the year 2000. From Nkrumah, he went to Guinea, where he would eventually die in 1972.
That's the count of the last man standing, Chris Kwesitwi Hesse, Reverend Nkrumah's cameraman. Abetete is here, President Poet. He's going to dish it. Abeto, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
About Transformers. Good morning. And how are you guys doing?
Great, by God's grace.
Nice.
Yourself?
I'm greater than Accra. Today is the transposed birthday of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah.
That you're in Nkrumah. Today is his birthday.
Mo Nkrumah.
Yeah, Musa Mo Nkrumah. And then the birthday. And Saturday in the end, Miminda, Helen, why you use my Miminda and I.
Miminda now, so you're train Abba.
So to that your Nkrumah only celebrates Nkrumah's birthday today. Will you observe a holiday?
Since Saturday, you saw how we came together at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. I mean, Africans from all over the continent, they love Kwame Nkrumah. They celebrate him. It was like Christmas Day.
What song did Black Rasta sing? What song did Black Rasta sing?
He said, why you thief? You are thief, so thief, man.
He didn't know where he was.
What do you mean by he knew exactly where he was? He was booked for the event. He saw he was ready.
Did you see the video?
Yeah, I saw it online.
What do you think?
Oh yeah, that's a bold step.
Bold.
Yeah, that's a bold step.
Really?
I think at times we need to speak to power in that sense. He is a musician.
But who is he calling the thief?
He didn't. He said thief president. President. There have been many presidents over time. So if who the cap fits.
They coming like an angel, but they my thief. Them no say they my thief. Mr. President, you coming like a savior. Why you a thief? You know say you a thief. Thief president, why you thieving so? Thief man, why you thief so? The people they must suffer, but you don't care so. Thief man, why you thief so? Mr. President, why you dey lie so? Before election, you tell me you be angel. When you sick, you run go a London. When we sick, we die for Olebu.
A meeting with Black Rastovas. No. I have not paid attention to the lyrics, but what does it mean? So who goes to London for checkup? No. We need to have a meeting with Black Rastovas.
It's a very catchy song.
No.
He said, when you are sick, you go for treatment in London. We die in Kolebu.
He said,
we die
like,
in Kolebu.
Whoever is referring to says you're a liar.
Lege.
Wow.
Even so, thief man, why a
thief man? Huh?
Oh, that's never directed to anyone.
No, I didn't say it. I want to have a conversation and understand who he was.
Oh, yeah. He needs to. Yeah.
Election, you tell me you be angel. When you sick, you run go a London. When we sick, we die for God.
This song has to be banned. Yeah.
Wicked.
Oh, Johnnie.
Yeah. Albert, look, the microphone is on poetry for us, please.
Okay, so I think there's a whole lot from Saturday straight to today. So it's really, really hot out there. Okay. Osajifo. How many times did I call you? You see, you can't even answer because your eardrums are still clouded by the irregular, provocative, political, vocal frequencies of our leaders. How then would you enjoy your rest if you still wrestle with the noisome pestilences of our motherland? Oh, Osajifo. Sorry. Osajifo, today's Ghana has no helpers of the war at all. Somebody they die crash, somebody they caught. Somebody just won't be the first to put it on the internet. Osajifo, internet entered our heads and changed our mindsets to the point where Africans from different African countries towards one another turn irate. Into negativities the youth are led. Oh, Osajifo, sorry. You know, Osajifo, maybe I need to remind the people who are listening today and watching all over. The way back, we had our forefathers who sat under the great baobab tree, the great Iroko tree, or whatsoever tree you want to name it. Sipping cold palm wine that sets coldness down the spine. They brooded over the negativities of the land without any inspiration of making mind-blowing preparation for us, the younger generation, even if they had no determination to cause changes in their time. And this really disturbs me as a young African, you know. Because Osajifo, despite all we've got, we still despise the despite of our land and travel to foreign lands to get deals done as though we never had any mark done in our own land. But Osajifo, to all listening to me today and to all here, permit me to gladly ask. Even before exiting Africa, haven't you heard of the Dellas, Dangotes and Otedolas who can send multiples of the same check in dollars that we go begging for? Or is it that we have no respect for our own? Osajifo, I look forward to that very new Africa as we celebrate you today because, Osajifo, you said that our freedom will be meaningless until it's connected to the total liberation of our African continent. Osajifo, you again said that revolutions are brought about by men who think as men of action and act as men of thought. Osajifo, you again admonished us that we must unite now or perish. Osajifo, you added that clearly we need African solutions to our African problems, and this can only come by but true African unity. Divided we are weak. United Africa could become one of the greatest forces for good in our world. Osajifo, today we are the one empowering the West to cause ourselves to become the West. Oh, Osajifo, Amansan Boafo, political osofo, Misrao. Sorry, because you are the only true lover of the African land and selfless projector of the African brand. Osajifo, today there are still no helpers of the world. And the storyline is being twisted. But Osajifo, I look forward to that very new Africa where there will be more of the Akosomo dams and Nadomi bridges, more well-structured communities and very functioning factories. Osajifo, I look forward to that very new Africa where saving for living will be encouraged over saving for burial. I look forward to that very new Africa where the younger ones will be respected. Oh, Osajifo, where the solid foundations you laid over time will be actually made available for us to stand firm and produce lasting fruits. Osajifo, I look forward to that very new Africa where MPs won't travel overseas pretending they're not seeing the kids in their communities sitting under trees for studies. Oh, Osajifo, today is very difficult to get common drinking water, but our rivers are being polluted and there's an overflow, a spillage from the dam you created for us, yet it can't be channeled into our homes to bless our lives. Oh, Osajifo. Osajifo. Amansan Boafo. Political Osofo. Misreo. I will be gone. I will be gone not for long. I'll be back again. But Osajifo, as I go, you'll always be proud of your loyal and faithful son. Because today you are being cropped out of the photo, but I tell you, the full photo is always in our hearts. And everywhere we go, we'll tell of your greatness. For you are the one. You'll always be the one. And we'll tell of you as the one. Wogba JK, we've come far, Osajifo, and we'll definitely go far. God bless Osajifo.
That's Albert Tete. Thank you very much, Albert. We're grateful as always. Where can we find you on social media? Quickly guide us so that we can do this.
Okay,
nice and
so on
easy.
social media, Verbal Transformers. When you just Google Verbal Transformers, you have all details and you get access to everything that we do. Get in touch. Let's think more. Let's restructure our mindset because today the cheapest commodity in our country is the youth.
Great.
This is 3FM 92.7, your election command center.
Malogo ya de, oh. Malogo ya de, papa.
minute and give thanks to Almighty God for having led us through obstacles, difficulties, imprisonments, hardships, and suffering to have brought us to the end of our struggle today.
We'll take a break. We'll return. We'll meet our Jollof warriors from the 3FM Afro Connect. We'll say Ghana. We'll say Togo. We'll say Senegal. Helen, you were not there when the declarations were made.
I was there. I heard you loud and clear.
Did you enjoy some of the Jollof?
You see, at that point, I'd eaten so many different things. The confusion was rife in my stomach, so I slowed down.
There was confusion in your stomach?
Yes, in my stomach. Too many combinations. Hey, because I was cassava, oko, jollof, yam balls, fish balls,
balls, but easy balls and everything, balls.
Balls. Bank that supports you, a bank that cares for you. Hand in hand, we stand with you. So lift your head up, big dreams are waiting. We'll walk with you wherever you go. Where all your dreams are alive, CBG will make you smile. We will rise with you. Your business will flourish, your name will stand out. CBG, we stand with
Wake up! We have just 50 minutes to set up.
Let's go.
We want jollof for school.
Shower time.
I'll make jollof.
Jollof, we have 45 minutes. What about the cutting, chopping, blending?
Tasty Tom Jollof Mix has all the ingredients to make jollof already mixed in the pack.
Is it going to taste the same?
So we say pa.
And if a jollof no hooking me.
Raw oil. Add 1 pack of 210 grams Tasty Tom Jollof Mix. Fry for 10 minutes. Add water, some cube, and salt. Add rice. In 45 minutes. Sharp. Let jollof now bing. Right on time.
Delicious jollof and in 45 minutes?
Easy cry. Tasty Tom Jollof Mix. Delicious jollof. Sharp. This advert is FDA approved.
Brush your teeth every day and night. Up and down and all around. Brush it clean and bright. Brush your teeth. Brush with mom and dad. Underneath and in between. Brush the germs away.
Pepsodent, cavity protection
For 10 times
This advert is FDA approved.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah.
Here's to the friends who dialed star 712 hash and found no regrets. To the investors who struck gold. To the health workers who diagnosed luck with precision. To the tough guy who couldn't hold back his tears. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of happiness. And now, here's to you. Your next big win is right here.
Dial star 712 hash. Now join in the luckiest winning celebration. Every 1st July 2024. Over dial star 712 hash. Now I can to take it through as a group, individual, and now even as a community. Now we need to prizes are in the community draw or go for the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with star 712 hash. Now join in the winning streak now.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
Imagine a place where voices matter, where every corner, every street, every community is a platform.
A big bus moving through Accra, carrying conversations, questions, and the pulse of the nation. This is not just another show, it's your voice on the move.
Join us as 3FM Sunrise hits the road, turning ordinary streets into platforms for extraordinary dialogue. Speak freely, listen deeply, and help shape the conversation that drives Ghana forward.
Look out for the bus and tune in exclusively on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
This is 3FM 92.7, your election command center.
It's 75 days to election 2024. It's a fresh week. Let your decision help Ghana make progress. Decide to do what is right towards election 2024.
You're welcome back. We're talking Jollof now. Thank you very much to all our sponsors for 3FM Afro Connect. I want to say thank you to Fortune Rise, the rise of the moment, to Fry Tall, the oil that everybody trusts in their kitchen. Also to Tasty Tom Tomato Mix. We've got some new varieties that you need to try. Pepper, onion, and tomatoes put together. Also have Jollof Mess. Bill's Microcredit. Looking for cash? I point you there. Fidelity Bank, they make all your payments easy and smooth. Also to High Life Beverages. They've got water and all the nice drinks. And also to Affinity Digital App. They make banking so easy on your mobile phone, on the go. I want to say thank you to all of them for making sure that 3FM Afro Connect, powered by 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio, Afro Connect 3.0, happen live in Ghana. Beloved nation, did not embarrass Nkrumah on his day of birth at the Nkrumah Memorial Park. Letogo also showed strongly. Senegal, Mali. There's nothing for Nigeria, there's nothing for Burkina Faso, there was nothing for Gabon, there was nothing for Guinea, there was nothing for Sierra Leone, there was nothing for Liberia, there was nothing for Ethiopia, there's nothing for Rwanda. You know what they call Shikoto? Well, Team Togo is represented by Baluki Antoine, who is a French teacher at St. Pierre Claver in Accra. And they were third. And Team Ghana, Chef Francis Zevo. Today didn't bring his hype man. They were first. His hype man, my friend, the pastor who is all over the place. I'm not sure he knows how to cook. But gentlemen, good morning, welcome. Good morning. Energy.
Good morning.
The energy is finished. They use all to cook on Saturday, Johnny.
But that's why I told them that they shouldn't have used all the energy on Saturday, because if they used everything on Saturday, what would they use on Sunday and Monday? And they didn't listen to me, but we are here. Yeah, fine. Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
Jollof Warrior, Chef Zevo, you said it and you did it.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the magic for you?
Okay,
you didn't work alone. You work with
I work with
Fierce Kitchen.
Yeah.
And tell me.
Yeah, we know, and the whole world know that Ghana Jollof is always the best. And then
how come for 2 editions you didn't win? This one you all know you're coming to do 2.
Yeah, we know that the first one and the second one we wanted them to
feel at home
and keep coming. And then this is the third time we want to show them that Ghana Jollof is the best.
I see.
Yeah. So now when you go to all the menus that are going to prepare in Ghana, French cuisine, when you go to Italian cuisine, when you go to the Lebanese and all the India, all the cuisines that are going to be in Ghana, we have Jollof, Ghana Jollof.
Jollof is going to feature prominently. Ghana Jollof, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, on the day when you were next to Togo, right? Did they give you competition? Did you feel that they were giving you some competition?
Not really.
You didn't feel it?
Not really.
Meche, he said you were not giving competition.
Oh, according to him.
But you were giving competition?
Of course, yes.
In your heart, you were giving him competition?
Of course.
But why didn't you win?
Oh, me, I'm not a chef for a profession. I'm a teacher. So I just came to represent my country. This is my first time to do
But you're not a chef, but you did very well.
Thank you.
Because he is a chef.
Yeah.
So if he wins, it's news, but it's not news. The chef there is expected to finish all of us. But you are not a chef.
Yes, of course.
And you were able to come third.
Yeah.
This is your first attempt.
Yes.
At a competition of this nature.
Yes, of course.
Wow. I mean, what worked for you? Tell me.
How can I say it? I don't know. Like, we came, we wanted to do it because at first when they called us, there's no one to do it. So I was like, okay, since there is no one.
When the Togo community in Ghana met, there was nobody who wanted to stick their neck
because
out.
they said they are not free. Yeah, they are not free. So I said, okay, maybe that day I'll free myself so that I'll come and do it.
But have you always been in the kitchen? Have you always been a kitchen boy?
Of course.
Who took your mom, took you into the kitchen?
Mom.
And he insisted that you should learn how to cook.
Yes.
How does she feel now that you are, you came to Ghana, won a cooking contest?
Oh, right now she's not here. And she's not here because I didn't tell her that I'm going to.
But have you called her to talk to her?
Not yet.
You should call her and tell her that.
Yeah,
Mama, I made it.
Yesterday, even yesterday, I was not free. I went to Transaco to do some classes there.
Right.
Then I came back very late in the night. So I came back around 9 when our president called me that, Charlie, this morning you have to go to 3FM to do some interview. So this is why
that's why you're here, Chef.
Yeah.
I mean, you came and you were so confident that this is going to be Ghana's year. We broke the drought and the hunger for the award. I mean, we organized this and we never won. 2 years in a row. And the Nigerians and everybody else was beginning to mock us. You is it Jollof, you sharp. I mean, what did you toss in there that made us win? Tell me. Tell us the secret now. The secret is out of the bag.
I always said, Ghana Jollof is the best already. So you don't need to do anything much.
Right.
You just need to follow our recipe as Ghanaian. You use our natural spices as Ghanaian. That's the first thing. And I think the second thing that worked for us is how to plate your thing. So we're able to do our plating.
Your presentation was very nice. Helen was in love.
Yeah, we were able to do our plating well.
Even though you delayed to to plate it. It was nice.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Senegalese jollof to Helen. It was very, very nice.
Oh yeah, very nice. I knew that you could smell also the aroma of the base, the stew base. It was really, really tasty. But again, to the presentation, Ghana's presentation, even though I think they were 9 minutes late, it was still
9 minutes late.
Very good.
You know, when they all started preparing the stew. I think it was only Nigeria that was not preparing the stew, but all of them started preparing the stew. The whole place had some nice aroma going. I said, hey, this is bowl will finish us today. Because the place is an outdoor, is an open place, but still you could.
At some point, when it was getting to a crescendo, wherever you were standing, you could smell that
there's jollof around some corner somewhere doing something and all of that. Chef, is this the first time you're doing a competition of this nature, Chef Sevo?
I've done some before.
Right.
Yeah, but on a low key.
Right, on a low key. But this is on a big scale.
Yeah, this one is a little.
So when your family people saw you on TV, winning the award and picking the prizes, what did they say?
Okay, you know, a lot of people know my skills.
Right.
The best in the morning.
They told me when I was going, they told me they know that I'm going to win.
They were confident.
They were confident from the very beginning. And then my friend,
right,
the pastor, my friend,
right.
You know, he actually told me that this one
is small chop.
It's small chop. So that is why he's around, moving all
right,
making sure we win it.
I see. Now, for you as a chef, what does this mean to you?
Okay, so you know, for some years now, my passion and my plans and idea is to project Ghanaian menu into the international market, because I know that when it comes to good food, healthy food, we have it in Ghana. So for some time it was my plan that I will make sure I put the Ghanaian food into the international market for other people also to try our menu and have it in their menu in different countries.
And you got it achieved there through the power of radio on 3FM 92.7, also on TV3 partnering. The whole world now knows Chef Zevo and that he can cook the best jollof in Africa. Man, that's a big one indeed. Antoine, so now you have also taken a piece of the title to Togo.
Yeah.
But Togo is typically a jollof eating nation. No, because we in Togo, we have what we call aimolu, is what you call here in Ghana wachi. Okay.
Yes. As for
it's
that,
called what, aimolu?
Aimolu, yes.
Okay.
Ai is how do you call it? Beans.
Okay.
The molu is rice.
Okay.
So the mixture of both of them.
I see. Aimolu.
Yeah.
So you are wachi specialist.
Of course.
So jollof is literally new to you.
Yeah.
So you like to cook jollof here or there in Togo?
We cook there in Togo.
Okay, but it's not as big as we don't make noise about it.
No. But as for
noise.
aimolu, every day is like you want to take breakfast, you will go and eat aimolu. That's all.
I see. Helen, we should go to Togo and eat aimolu.
We have to do aimolu wars next time, because it seems this rice and beans combination is popular in Africa.
I mean, if the Nigerians also bought moi moi.
They also bought moi moi, yes.
That's
but
also beans. You brought the okra people. Okra and garden eggs.
In fact, Johnny, I've not forgiven you. Made me eat one cassava when we were going around there to quickly go and find some highlight beverage to quench my cassava and cassava stew and wow.
My uncle says, learn how to eat everything. Now from Tihoda, anything can happen. Learn how to eat a bit here. True. But I mean, Chef, where do we go from here now? This is the big crown that's on your head. I'm sure a lot of calls will be coming to you. I want to give you both. You don't cook on a large scale.
No.
You a teacher.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an opportunity to do friend-teacher things.
Okay.
And then you as a chef, you cook for parties, weddings, whatever it is. You put the digits and your social media numbers out so people can call you and order their jollof.
Okay. So, we are organizing some jollof party.
Okay.
Very soon that we are coming to announce. It's going to be different types of jollof.
Jollof party.
Yeah, we're going to have green jollof, red jollof, every color of jollof.
Slow down. You're going to have jollof party.
Jollof party soon.
With different varieties of jollof.
Different varieties.
Green jollof.
Yeah, we're going to have some.
The rice will be green.
Yeah, the look And the garnishing.
The appearance will be green.
The appearance will be green. We'll have
red
green
jollof.
garnishing and some others.
I see.
It's going to be something else.
Jollof festival
and different tastes.
Yeah.
So very soon we will announce it, and then I'll put my number out there if you want somebody
to cook jollof for you.
Jollof, big parties.
Maybe your wife is looking forward to breaking up with you, and you can get chef to cook jollof for you.
024-33-68-352. 024-33-68-352.
Okay, again.
Call Chef Francis Zebo on 024-33-68-352.
When you cook jollof for people, do you add the kanzo or do you take it away? Because the kanzo is life.
Yeah, kanzo is actually the real deal.
Is the jollof?
Yeah, so some people like they officially
ask you to put the kanzo on the side.
Add the kanzo.
Helen, will you ask for kanzo when your jollof is done? Or
I don't have time for kanzo. Straight to the main events.
Oh, no,
those that like kanzo, I don't understand you guys
boring.
so
boring.
much. I don't understand the kanzo lovers so
do you like kanzo, chef?
Of course.
Do you like kanzo?
Yeah.
Ayimolo kanzo. You know what it means? It's a lifesaver. Kanzo. What are you talking about? Kanzo. You have not had kanzo before.
I don't support kanzo.
You have been overpampered. Like
For
your
me,
mother finishes cooking the jollof, the dish,
my
everything
siblings
else,
used to
and then you
fight each other for
take
kanzo.
the pot and you put it in between your thighs.
Yeah,
And you
between
are
the meat.
scraping
My
it.
siblings used to fight kanzo. They want to scrape under the pot for everything.
Kanzo is life.
No.
It's life. It actually toughens your brain. It makes you look
Toughens
sharp.
your jaw.
No, your
jaw.
brain. Because your jaw sends a signal to your brain, and it keeps you active and alive. Chairman, so you also a French teacher?
Yes.
And your school is what at?
Kaneshimata Eko.
Yeah, Holy Family.
Yeah, Holy Family.
I know Holy Family. Yes. And you teach French.
Yeah, this is a French school.
I know.
Yeah.
I know you wear white and khaki.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that school. We used to play football there until people came to construct the wall and curtailed all of us from playing. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
I see. So you're available to teach French in homes?
Yeah.
All right. Helen needs it. Give us the number.
Okay.
To call.
My number is 0242 138245.
0242
13 8245.
Okay. I see. 0242
Yeah, 13
8245. And you're a French teacher. You can do homeschooling for people who want extra classes and all of that.
Yes, of course.
But we would have to teach the Ayimolu. Yeah, very soon.
Okay, no problem.
Ayimolu. But there's the jollof. The jollof thing is coming up. But where did you served only a small portion of the jollof? Where did the rest of the jollof go?
You know, we have some people at the back.
Yeah.
And then
you gave them the jollof that we were supposed to eat.
they can't wait to have it. So
they brought their own plates.
They brought their own plates. So after the announcement, they jumped on the jollof, and I couldn't even before I came from.
Before you came to pick the award,
I came out, the jollof is finished.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, seriously.
Yours too?
I didn't eat the jollof.
Helen, who are those people?
No wonder. You know what?
Under the cover of darkness, they ate the jollof.
So when you were giving the announcement, you see the crowd started to move towards the stage. Another crowd was also moving in the opposite direction. So when we were hailing Ghana, was saying, you should have seen behind the scenes. There was activity going on there.
Why was Oliver not at the jollof war? Oliver should have been at the jollof war.
Oliver, you wanted by
Oliver, do you know Ayimolu? They said there's Ayimolu. Yes, Ayimolu is watching. So now we have learnt a new thing today. Ayimolu is watching.
Yeah.
Ayimolu is watching. Is it different from what we have here?
No.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
But you put a lot of beans in it.
Yes.
Ayimolu. Wow. And you garnish it with what? Pepper.
Pepper. You have our shito.
Shito, okay.
Yes. You have our shito.
You have
stew, the egg. You have soya.
Do you have yemadie?
What is yemadie?
Yematripe. Yemadie. Intestines. You don't have yemadie.
No.
Do you have wele?
Yes. You have
wele.
We call it akmama.
Akpama.
Yeah.
The Nigerians call pomo. Yes, wele. Akpama.
Yes.
Yes.
Akpama.
But you don't have yemadie.
No.
The towel. You don't have it.
No, we don't have it.
Then it's not proper. You should have. Oh, chef alive. You should have it. Do you have tatale on it? Fried plantain.
No.
You don't have fried plantain on it.
No, we don't.
Do you have gari on it?
Of course.
Do you have macaroni on it?
Yes.
And you don't have. Do you have leaves on it?
Yes.
You have leaves.
Yeah.
You have kalami.
Kalami, yes.
Kalami, that's small tilapia.
Yeah.
You have it on it.
We have
it's
it on
the whole package. This is Oliver guiding me through the Ayimolu lessons.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, chef. But chef, watch it without yimwadie and fish.
That one there.
And call ye mama. Call ye mama. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I wish you all the best. Finally, the numbers again, quickly. Chef, your number first for the jollof and other cooking connections.
All right, 024 33 68 352.
Okay.
024 33 68 352.
Friend teacher, monsieur.
Okay, 0242 138245.
Okay.
0242 138245.
I hope the French you teach will be able to cross the border beyond Africa.
Yes.
Because some of the French that they taught us in primary school, when you get to France and you speak, the people keep looking at you, pardon, monsieur.
Actually, I'm the winner of the Francophone Writers Competition in Ghana.
Okay.
Yes, the one they did in Alliance Française.
Right.
So,
I just wanted to know that your French can cross Africa.
Yes.
I don't want French where when you get to France, the French people will be looking at you saying,
no.
Pardon, monsieur. Well, it's time for birthdays. We have to go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to
you. And a happy birthday going out to Isa Abba Abdulaziz. Isa Abba Abdul Aziz. Today is your birthday, Isa Abba Abdul Aziz. This is from Jonathan Simon and the rest of the team. They wish you a happy birthday, Isa Abba Abdul Aziz. Also to you, Prophet Yao Ano. Today is your birthday. Papa, happy birthday to you. We love and we cherish you and we celebrate you. So 2 special birthdays. First one to Isa Abba Abdulaziz and also to you, Prophet Yao Ano. We celebrate you. And Helen, we have to go.
Absolutely.
Pardon, tu parles français, Christian?
Je parle français, mais c'est très mauvais. No, this one is Russian. This one is Russian.
No.
This one is Russian.
No. Ce n'est pas.
This one is Russia, Ukraine.
Ce n'est pas embarrassment. Ce n'est pas embarrassment. C'est un petit style. Non. Aujourd'hui, ça puis super saki.
Sure. Over. C'est mon Japon.
What's that?
Au revoir.
No, this is Togo French.
Sorry.
It's not. It doesn't cross the border. Let's use French that crosses the border. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
This day will never be forgotten. The 6th of March 1957, when the Gold Coast successfully